good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Topwater Live. We have a really exciting episode planned for you tonight. We do have some announcement to make as we get started here. As everybody saw in the graphics, we had our reps from Old Town joining us on the broadcast tonight. Unfortunately, due to some unforeseen circumstances here in the last 30 minutes, Dan and Ryan will not be able to join us tonight, so really bummed out. We had a ton of questions prepared for those guys in that interview session, but we have a great cast at the long table with us tonight that we can help answer those questions. We still have some major announcements to make regarding Old Town, and we want to get into a more in-depth discussion about the new Sportsman fleet that was revealed just a couple weeks ago down at Logan Martin. And really hammer the details out on that and get everybody's perspective on what they've seen so far and what their thoughts are. Coming up a little bit later, we will take our DNR Sports Center spotlight look as Megan joins us, and we talk about the spring sale going on down at DNR Sports. And shortly after our interview with Megan, we are going to be joined by angler Casey Reed, also Old Town pro staffer. He's had the opportunity to actually fish out of the new Sportsman line down at Logan Martin, so it'll be great to see his insight on what he experienced in that platform, or using that platform a couple weeks ago. And we are joined live tonight with a couple, excuse me, I'm going to wait for Kyle to jump seats and switch cameras real quick. We are joined tonight at the long table with pro staff from Old Town, Mr. Bill. Excuse me, got a little tickle in my throat. Maybe we should shut this down. Bill joining us tonight. Thank you for making the drive over. Couple-hour drive to get here tonight to talk about Old Town and talk about your experiences with them and the insight on the new line. And happy you could join us tonight. So thanks for coming out.
Oh, this is exciting. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun. Mr. Pyatt, thank you for coming out again tonight. Much appreciated.
Yes.
Team Waterdog, everybody sporting Old Town on Team Waterdog. So I'm looking forward to hearing your insight personally and the insight as the Waterdog team as a whole, all using the Old Town product line. So that'll be exciting to get it'll be exciting to get your viewpoint. Mr. Diesel.
How's it going?
Thanks for coming out, bud.
This is what I do every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. This is home, right?
This is your deal.
It is. This is definitely my deal.
And Mr. Don Roth joining us on the Topwater Live set for the first time. Thanks for braving the elements and coming out and hanging out with us tonight.
It wasn't that bad out there today.
It's not that bad, right?
It's beautiful.
Beautiful, sunny,
Beautiful
fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Directly to my right, Mr. Steve Crooks, owner of Waterdog Outfitters. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. Definitely want to get your perspective on the Old Town fleet. Since you've had a chance to take an earlier look than most at the platform and was able to actually test it out in the demo stage, the prototype stage. So,
prototype, yeah.
And now that it's been released to the public, it'd be awesome to get your intake. So.
Yeah, well, honestly, I can't wait to get my shipment.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait either.
We're all waiting. We're all waiting patiently.
So I'm excited for tonight's episode. We've been looking forward to this episode for a really long time to make some Old Town announcements, not only with the new fleet, but Old Town and Topwater series as a whole. So without much further ado, we'd like to take a minute and announce that Old Town will be the Topwater Series premier sponsor for 2020. Old Town and Johnson Outdoors has jumped on board with the Topwater Series circuit, and what that entails, from basically top to bottom, Old Town will be sponsoring each individual series. So starting with our youth series, all 4 independent division league series, the trail series, as well as the World Series of Fishing. And an awesome sponsorship that was new this year was the 101 sponsorship. And what the 101 sponsorship entails is Old Town is basically writing a check to Topwater that we will use to pad the payouts at all of our events, making the Topwater Series not only a 100% payout club, but puts us at that next tier as a true 101% payout club. So the Topwater Series, as far as the tournament directors and Kyle and myself, we take nothing out of registrations and sponsorships. It all gets paid back out to the anglers. So we jumped from that 100% payout to the 101% payout, and I'm pretty sure we're the only kayak series in the country with a true 101% payout to our anglers that participate. So, and that will take place at every Topwater Series event on the schedule this year. So that's really exciting news. To break down the Old Town Topwater Series sponsorship a little bit further, what does that really mean? So with Old Town jumping on board with us for each individual series, they have donated certain levels of merchandise through Old Town Gear that we will be able to divide out through participants that are not only in the money, but also individuals that are there participating that don't finish in the money. We want as many people to go home at the end of the night with cool prizes. If you finish in the money, that's awesome. You're going to get awesome prizes on top of that cash payout. But with the 101% sponsorship level as well, you're going to get that extra padded payout. So, and that's going to work for our youth series. Like I said, the league series, the trail series, World Series of Fishing, from top to bottom, they have totally hooked our anglers community up. And I can't be more excited to have Old Town on board with us this year. We worked really hard trying to find that premier top level sponsorship to join the Topwater Series. One, because Topwater is relatively new. We've been around for a couple years now. Our schedule expanded drastically going into the 2020 season, and we were looking for that premier, national sponsorship. We have amazing local sponsorships like Steve and Waterdog that we work really closely with, but we needed that extra level of participation from the national brands. Not only to help legitimize what we're trying to do, but to give our anglers that are participating that extra benefit as well with the extra gear and the extra payouts, things like that. So we have deemed tonight on St. Paddy's Day, happy St. Paddy's Day, everybody, Old Town Night. And tonight we're going to discuss Old Town topics with their new fleet, the sponsorships. We encourage everybody watching at home tonight, since you're all at home and can't be out anywhere else, to jump in the conversation, ask any question that you want regarding the new Old Town fleet. I'm sure if you're in the angling community, you've seen the videos by now over the last 2 weeks. So if you have any questions, please jump on board. We're happy to help answer those to the best of our availability. Without Ryan and Dan and the guys from Old Town being able to join us tonight, we will do our best to get those questions answered with our knowledge of the new product line. Really bummed they couldn't make it, but with everything going on in the world right now, it's totally understandable. And we will get them on board within the next couple weeks on a Topwater Live episode to help follow up with everything that's going on new in the Old Town world. So we've all adorned these awesome Kelly Green shirts in honor of St. Paddy's Day and the new partnership. So we may have a couple of these shirts to give away tonight to anybody watching at home. A couple random viewers going to go home with the 2020 Topwater shirt. So without further ado, let's get it started. Enough of me talking. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Awesome.
Good.
Really good.
Crazy world we're living in right now, huh? Yeah. Holy smokes. So I'm sure everybody here, I believe, was headed down to Alabama in a week to fish the NC. So let's talk about that for a couple minutes and the changes that Mr. Hoover announced last night, what'll take place. Obviously, the national championship has been postponed and moved tentatively to the first weekend in November at this point. So if you didn't know, sorry to break that news to you now.
Surprise.
How do you guys feel about the national championship being moved from basically next week or in 2 weeks, I guess, to first weekend in November? What's that change for you guys personally?
I was definitely looking forward to it. Like, I've just got so much stuff going on, and I'm like looking forward to this vacation. I'm like, I just want to get out, go try to catch some fish, catch some spawning fish, just have a great time with a bunch of good friends. And this gets pushed back. I mean, it's the world we live in right now. It is what it is, and there's nothing I can really do about it. I just got to go on with my life and just look forward to November, and hopefully I can catch me some fall fish.
Absolutely. What about you?
Said it best. Mm-hmm. I mean, it sucks that it happened like this, but I'm glad he or KBF and Chad, they announced it when they did. It didn't
Yeah,
wait
it's
another
better
week.
this week than next week.
If they would have waited another week, a lot of people would have been out a lot more money.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm glad they announced it when they did, and I'm glad it's far enough out to where people can plan again to get down there, because some people, you can't just, oh, I'm going to change my vacation to 5 weeks from now or in June or July. You really don't want to be on Guntersville in June, July, and August, because
Yeah.
you're talking
Along with the other
thousands
10,000
of
boats that are out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot all the time, but those months, they're out on ledges, and the people are out there with them. I mean, like crappie fishermen never leave.
What about you guys?
It's tough. For me as a business owner, it's tough because I was looking forward to it. It's a kind of a break from the monotony of getting the shop ready and gearing up for the summer. Getting the crew together, getting the whole team down in a location to spend some time together and fish. Personally, with my family, looking forward to heading down there and doing spring break and Pigeon Forge first.
For sure.
And then heading down after that. So, it's 10 or 12 days of vacation that, we've kind of planned throughout the last few months that
Yeah, absolutely.
just, it washes away. Being in November, there's mixed emotions. Being a true outdoorsman that bow hunts and deer hunts.
Yeah.
That's a little tougher.
Weekend before opening a rifle season. That makes
Right in the heart of the rut.
Makes it tough.
Yeah, it does. So, I don't know. I have to kind of play that one by ear now. But, the vacation time's a tough one. Don can
Yeah,
testify
that's
to
tough.
that.
I know,
so.
Don, you're in that boat.
I can't get no time off of that November.
A bunch of other guys
It's
are in
not
the same
gonna
boat
happen.
posting that, November, they just can't.
My
can't do
tournament's
it.
done.
Yeah.
So,
I know for me personally, I was waiting on the announcement. I just kept waiting and waiting. I knew it was coming. They had to do what they had to do, and
Yep.
kudos to them for doing it. It's about the safety of not only the 600 plus anglers that were headed down there, but for the city of Guntersville too.
Yeah.
They don't need 1,000 people from outside of the city of
Everywhere,
Guntersville invading their city for a week straight.
Right.
Yeah, because Alabama is the lowest state of cases for this. And
last time
everybody
West
comes
Virginia.
in.
it showed none, didn't it?
Yeah, they've got a few now.
West
Oh, do
Virginia
they?
still has zero.
Yeah.
They've
West
got a
Virginia
few
zero.
Yeah,
So.
West Virginia's
Take me
doing
home,
it
West
right.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Governor Jimbo.
49
he's got
states
it
have
going
it
on.
now.
But
West Virginia's washing it down with moonshine, so they're
It's not going to hurt them.
Yeah.
I was super bummed. I'm not gonna lie. I was really, really bummed. I mean, everybody watching Topwater Live knows we've literally talked about the national championship since November. Every single
Every
Tuesday
week.
night,
That's what
we
we do.
bring it up. We've had highlighted episodes about it. We talk about it. I think we had 68 Michiganders headed down there next week, and I just bummed. I've been looking forward to this since last year. Me personally, I didn't qualify for this until like the last event of 2019. So
I qualified in April, so I'm
waiting a while.
Waiting even longer.
Not to rub it in.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
so you know. By the way,
But totally bummed. I'm excited that they've already came up with a game plan to reschedule it. In a way, I kind of like that it's been postponed till after. It's like the Super Bowl. You play your entire season and then you go to the championship instead
and
of
we
like
only got to wait like 8 more weeks to go to another championship.
exactly. So
And it's in
I'm
Louisiana.
kind of excited that way. But again, I'm not sure about that tentative date. There's a lot of things going on for people. It's football season, whether we're coaching and our kids are playing, or
I think it's better than like in June, July,
Oh, yeah.
August,
Oh, yeah.
September even. So I understand why he pushed it back that far. Because like I said, it gives people time to totally reschedule.
Because this is a logistics nightmare to get everyone down there and the rebook hotels, rebook Airbnbs,
Also, I don't
get all
think
that money back.
I don't think he had much of a choice, because if you know that area and how busy
It's
it is
probably
with
booked
fishing,
Oh yeah.
there's tournaments every weekend, every day. I mean, to plan a tournament that big, it takes some planning, because you gotta really find out, well, is there going to be another big bass splash that week? Is there going to be a BFL or this or that? And there's that stuff happens down there every other week, it seems
Well,
like.
Yeah.
and God forbid you schedule it in late June and this Corona thing's still going on,
Still
and you
happening.
have to
Right.
reschedule again anyway. That itself is just, you want to stay away from that
I mean,
possibility.
as much as I'm bummed about it, and I know in every one of these fishing chat rooms, everybody was pretty bummed about it last night. I can't imagine how bummed Chad is feeling right now. I know that they put their blood, sweat, and tears into
Yeah.
these events, and to pull off a national championship like this with this many people. I mean, we've seen the buzz here lately about the BASS, and the Hobie events where there's 200 and some anglers signing up, and the buzz that's generating and how exciting everybody is. This had over 600 anglers coming down there to that event, and having to cancel expos and vendors and stuff like that. I mean, I feel so bad for them. I know they put a tremendous amount of work into this, and I know there's a lot of bummed anglers, but I know Chad's feeling just as bad. So I'm excited that they've already come up with a game plan to get it in this year. A lot of people still looking forward to that. So hopefully we can come up with the logistics and get all that figured out, rebook houses and things like that. And hopefully, as many people that were already signed up to go can still make that happen. And while we're talking about that weekend, I know I was talking to Joshua Booth, tournament admin for the All-American Kayak Bass Kayaking Classic that's taking place in Missouri. And I know that him and Chad are going to speak. They're going to hopefully work together and try to come up with a date, because the All-American was actually taking place on Lake Norman, or Lake Truman, I'm sorry, down in Missouri that same weekend. So, and I know that was bringing in kayak clubs from all over the country to participate in that. Michigan Kayak Trail, Topwater, Mayo, just some of our local clubs here. We're all sending 10 representatives to that tournament. So hopefully they can reschedule, figure out a date that works best for both clubs. And if I got to go to Alabama and then turn around and go to Missouri the next week, that just sounds like a great trip to me. So,
What a shame, right?
yeah, right. They'll get it figured out and then come back home and deer hunt. So
There you go.
So it'll be fun. I look forward to that, and we just had to mention that because that's been a buzz in the last 24 hours, and kudos to them. So if you're watching at home, tell us how you feel. We're right there with you. Tell us if you're bummed, if you're excited about the rescheduled date, what this did for you as far as time off, things like that. We want to hear from you guys watching at home and be a part of this conversation too tonight. So you're at home, you can't go out anywhere, so you got nothing better else to do, so might as well chime in, right? So, in other news,
Pepin's jumped in already. He kind of preluded it, but he said he's bummed that there won't be a Topwater live from the Gunnersville house. So.
Yeah, me too.
That was going to be a lot of fun. I was definitely looking forward to that one.
That was going to be a lot of fun. Mr. Hoover was coming to hang out with us, eat some dinner with us, and then jump on a Topwater Live episode that night and make some announcements for KBF. We were going to preview the KBF Lake St. Clair Trail event happening on June 6th. We were also going to release the MKT registrations and the Topwater registrations live from the house and talk about that. So we'll come up with a new game plan for that. I'm sure we can still get him on a Skype interview or something like that.
You just go to Kyle's place.
Yeah, we'll do it at Kyle's place.
Well, I'm sure hopefully sometime in October or early November we can do a live from a Gunnersville house. Maybe not the same one.
We'll do a post-season recap. Then
I'm
the
still
national
waiting for
championship.
Mullins to come on there and say, who's cooking them dinner? Nobody's fishing, but I'm sure we still owe them dinner.
I think we own dinner.
Still at Elliot's house. So.
Still at Elliot, there you go.
I don't know what. I want no part of that.
Yeah, we really lucked out being able to get refunds. That was something that I was kind of a little bit concerned about, and it worked out that, like you guys said earlier, they did it earlier enough that I think most people were able to get. I think I'm going to be out maybe $25, I guess.
Right.
Just
overall.
the admin fee, the
Yep.
$25 admin fee.
Yep.
That's all it was.
So-
So,
Airbnb said that we're gonna pay back 100%.
Yep.
They were gonna take no fee at
Yeah.
all.
Airbnb hooked everybody up that had booked houses down there. They did a great job with 100% refunds on that. They totally understood, the world that we're living in right now and the situation with all of the out-of-town guests coming down. So they worked out really well working with everybody.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
then
we
as far as
definitely lucked out there.
KBF is concerned, they're holding on to 25% of the admin
$25.
fee, which honestly I don't care about. they've spent so much
Yeah,
money
$25.
to put on this
$25.
tournament, and they had to order so much of their stuff so far in advance. I totally get it. That's part of
Yeah.
business, and I don't want them to be out that money. So if $25 admin fee is all it costs to get my $300, $275 back, whatever it was.
I just let them keep the money
I'm just
because I
gonna
plan
wait.
on going in
I'm trying to
November.
go.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to go
So-
still.
If I get
So
the money back, I might spend it.
They better keep it.
You got to buy a new kayak.
Yeah.
Now, did I
Get on
hear
that later.
it? Did I hear it correctly? If they said your schedule conflicts in November, that you automatically qualify for the 2021?
That's
Yeah,
true.
so like
So-
Don qualified
Yeah.
for this one, he can't go, he can automatically, he's going to
Perfect.
2021,
Right.
so he can still go.
So-
So it's not that, oh, I can't go to this now, it rolls over and you go again.
Go
But
get
if
you
you
some gumbo
fish,
now.
but
Right.
if you fish in 2020, you don't automatically qualify for 2021. It's
Okay.
one or the other.
Right.
Right. So
Get
just
down there
make
and fight
that.
some snakes.
So you sacrifice your qualification as soon as
Yeah,
you wet
as
a
soon as
line.
you go and fish, you sacrifice
better
it
fish
for
well.
next year, so you gotta do it all over again.
You have
Right.
to
Tom said we
qualify
lost
again.
by default.
Yep, Tom's chiming in and saying that they lost by default, which
Yeah,
I
I was
agree with.
waiting for that. I was waiting.
I totally agree.
Lost by
with that.
default.
You
I
would.
think the representative that made the bet on behalf of that house and then totally dropped out weeks
Right.
before this.
Should
Mike
go-
Snee
Should
also
still be-
jumped in and says that he didn't qualify, so he's bummed that he's not bummed.
Sounds about right.
And I agree that Elliot should probably make good on
I
that
think
bet
he owes us dinner.
for everybody. But
Everybody.
I feel like that's a check
Even
in
the
the
people
mail
in his house.
I
situation.
think he owes us too, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I
Elliot
think
can
so.
cook us
Yeah,
dinner.
that's one of those checks in the
dinner.
mail situation. I'm
Pizza.
pretty sure.
Well, it saves me about 30 pounds worth of venison that I was going to bring down to the house. So.
Oh man.
Hey, so party at your house.
There's our meal.
Topwater Live at
You
Steve's
say
house.
Meals on Wheels? That's what, that's what it'll be.
So that's kind of the big news right now happening on the KBF front. We're going to cover all three pro circuits here real quick with some exciting updates. So with KBF postponed until November, first weekend of November tentatively. We'll let the MOYAC and the All-American Tournament Series administrators and KBF administrators work out details on what's going to happen when, but looking forward to attending both of those events still. And we talked about, I'll hit that again. I don't want to, go backwards, but we talked about the All-American Kayak Bass Classic tournament, and we had made that announcement a couple weeks ago. MKT had made theirs before us. So what that entails is our top 10 finishers in Topwater World Series of Fishing. So if you qualify for the World Series of Fishing, we will be sending our top 10 finishers at the actual World Series of Fishing down to represent Topwater Series in Missouri on Lake Truman that first weekend in November, tentatively. So that's how that works. We explained that in the post on Facebook a couple weeks ago, but we brought it up again, just a quick recap. What'd you say, Kyle?
Megan is on and ready from DNR Sports. So.
All right. Well, we will jump over to Megan and highlight some DNR sports updates, and then we'll come back and finish this conversation when
Cool.
she's done.
Sounds good.
All right. Let's bring her on. Hey, Megan, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. You surviving?
Surviving, yes.
Good. Glad to hear it. So Grant posted an update on our Topwater Series page about some DNR Sports updates, but we wanted to hear it live from you since you have boots on the ground there about some changes for the spring sale that's going on and what's happening there.
Yes, so obviously we all know that everything is being canceled and we're trying to avoid that happening, but if it comes to the point where we don't have a choice, we decided to start our spring show sales now. So they're already going on this week, and then they'll be going on through April 13th. So we pretty much have about a month to shop the same prices that we have our normal spring show weekend.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then we're also extending some of those sales to our online store for the people that usually travel. Not everything is available online just because some stuff we're not allowed to advertise. So the best sales are still in the store, but we have, all of our baits that we normally have on sale in the store are on sale online and a bunch of other things as well. So
So instead of the spring sale just happening, I think it was April 10th, 11th, 12th, something like that, you guys have already started the spring sale, and you'll continue that until when?
Until April 13.
That's
So,
amazing.
yep. So if for some odd reason we're not able to host the show, the prices will still go through that weekend, and then the Tuesday after they'll go until.
At this time, are you guys still planning on hosting the pros and things like that for the actual show date?
As of right now, yes.
That's perfect.
We're just trying, obviously, to just kind of see how things play out and, work with things as we can. And, behind the scenes, we're coming up with, plan B, C, and D just in case, things get canceled or changed or whatever. So we're doing what we can to, obviously, hopefully still be able to host the show. But if not, or if things change, we're keeping up with that as well.
That's great. And what are the DNR Sports hours at the shop there in Kalamazoo? So if people want to come down there and check out these sales, what are the hours?
So on Monday and Tuesday, we're open 9 to 6. Wednesday through Friday, we're open 9 to 8. 9 to 5 on Saturday, and then 9 to 4 on Sunday. So our hours, if people go online and check our hours have not changed. That's still the same. So that's a good reference point for people. Otherwise, really the only change is that we're having the sale all month long. So
that's perfect. Well, awesome. Thank you very much for extending that sale period for everybody in this crazy world we're living in right now, and giving everybody an opportunity to get down there, at their leisure over the next month. And we really appreciate that as anglers, because the DNR Sports Center sale there's really nothing like it around. The sale at DNR Sports Center, with the amount of products you guys have available for anglers, it's top notch. So can't thank you enough for that, Megan, and thanks for jumping on again with us this week, and I look forward to talking to you again next week.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, you guys too.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Yep. Bye.
Very cool. So everybody watching at home, instead of planning that April 10th, 11th, 12th specific dates to get down there, you've got the entire month to get down there. So that's exciting. Have any of you guys ever been to the DNR Sports Spring Sale?
No.
You have, right?
All the time.
You go
every year.
I know that they're doing some sweet deals on the new Daiwa reels. So.
Daiwa reels?
Yep, the new bait casters that came out, or the upgraded model, or whatever you want to call it. So.
That's awesome.
That's where I'm going to look at.
Yeah, go check it out.
Yep, those new 103s.
Their spring sale prices on that product,
You
it's
can't
insane.
go anywhere else and get those
No.
prices unless you're looking inside to like the manufacturer or whatever wholesale.
Unless you got one of those pro staff
Yeah,
hookups.
that's true. Discount codes.
Unless you wanted that deal.
But no, in all serious, unbelievable business that they run down there, and their store with the amount of products that they have available, not only in the store but on the Van Dam Warehouse website that's totally refurbished. Check it out. Go on the website, check it out, see something you like, go down to the store. Don't be afraid. Check it out. So I look forward to talking to Megan each week in our DNR Sports Spotlight. Mr. Tom Mullins, MKT Tournament Director, chiming in there. I can't see what he said, though.
Yeah, he's saying that he needs an exist reel to go with the net that
I
we
agree.
got him. So.
Get it, Tom.
There you go. Go
I'll
check it
deliver.
out.
I'm gonna guess that's not a cheap reel. Just
Probably not. Tom doesn't do anything cheap.
Probably.
it's like a titanium plated gold.
Gold.
Diamond.
We should get him a crappy reel and then just like bedazzle it for him, so be all sparkly for him,
Put JDM written on the
So,
side.
right?
all right. Kyle, have you been able to check in with Casey yet? He just messaged me and said that he is good to go whenever we are. So if you guys want to connect over there, we'll finish up our conversation and then come back to our interview with Casey Reed. So
I'm waiting for him to accept my invitation on Skype. He apparently does not want to be my Skype friend, so when he does that, then I will be ready to bring him
Do you
on.
blame him?
all right.
No, I don't blame him. It's fair. That's definitely fair. So.
All right. I will shoot him a message real quick then.
All right.
A couple other highlights we were talking about before our DNR Sports Center Spotlight. This past weekend, both BAS and Hobie BOS held events, crowned a couple new winners. So let's take a quick look at that. Do you guys follow the different Pro Series trails as they're happening and check in on leaderboards and stuff like that?
I don't check in on leaderboards. I just see who wins.
See who wins.
I don't really have time to check in leaderboards. I'm always doing something interesting.
I check in on
I think
them.
it's
I like to see.
If I have friends fishing,
yeah,
I'll
for
take
sure.
a look, see where they're at.
I do as well, especially if I know some specific people fishing in that event, and when they're near the top, I tend to check in even more and see where they're at, before lights out. So Grant just threw up a graphic at this past weekend's Hobie BOS event on Lake Norman in Mooresville, North Carolina. It was a 2-day event, and our buddy Kurt Schmitz, who was just on the show a couple weeks ago, took home first place at that event. And congratulations to Kurt. I know Kurt is one of those guys. He's based out of Ohio, so can't knock him too hard for that. But he puts in a tremendous amount of time and effort into his fishing. And to see what he's doing already in 2020, a top 5 finish at the first Hobie BOS event, and then to go down to Mooresville and come out on first place. I mean, kudos to him.
Trying to lock up that Angler of the Year. Really.
Yeah, he's locking up that Angler of the Year quick. So kudos to him. With the amount of people that fish these tournaments now, 200 plus people out competing on these bodies of water that you've never fished before, out of state, travel on top of all that, kudos to him making it happen in the kayak world. So congratulations, Kurt, on your first place victory on Lake Norman. Look forward to see what you do next, bud. So, and in the BASS world, they went quickly from Logan Martin straight to Texas over to Lake Fork, and Mr. Cody Milton came out on top on that. And I think Grant's got a graphic for us once he's done playing on his cell phone.
Trying to get the memes pulled up for our winner.
Multitasking.
So a quick graphic of Cody Milton there taking home his first place trophy at the Bassmaster Elite Kayak Series on Lake Fork, Texas. Cody's another one of those guys. I mean, he's just on top consistently. If you guys follow these anglers from out of the state of Michigan, he's one of those guys that consistently is finishing on top, and couldn't be happier that I picked him for my fantasy kayak team. And I needed that win. So thanks a ton, Cody. I appreciate that. And congratulations to you on picking up that first place victory down at Lake Fork. Another one of those tough fisheries. If you're not from that area going down to Texas, that's a tough transition to make. So kudos to you.
You can't forget our very own Mr. Mull.
Absolutely. He
Finished
pulled off
1/12.
Twice. So Mr. Consistent, Mr.
That's
Dave
skill.
Ball.
I mean, you can tell he's been in the game for a while, because that takes truly some skill.
It does.
That is impressive.
With that many anglers, new locations, traveling out of state, and consistently finish in the same spot, 2 events in a row, 112. That's consistency.
My thing is, did he leave the boat ramp?
I'm sure he fished fairly close to the boat ramp.
Yeah.
But
And was he on time? That's another thing.
oh, I'm sure.
Dave time.
Dave time?
Dave time.
There's
Definitely
always
on
any
Dave
time. Yeah.
Dave was another one of the guests that was going to join us here tonight, and honestly, he just made it. He went from Logan Martin and the Bassmaster Classic, covering that as a writer, and then straight to Texas, and literally just got back and messaged us before the show started, and he just needs to spend some time at home. He's been on the road for like 2 weeks, so no fault there, and we don't blame you. So we were going to have Dave on the show because he actually is getting his new Sportsman kayak tomorrow, I believe. So we were going to have him on and talk about his new kayak and his experience. He was also another one of those anglers that was able to go down and test the prototype and check it out and do a write-up about it before it was revealed to the public. So we were looking forward to his perspective, and I'm sure we'll get it. He'll chime in. He's watching the broadcast tonight, so once we start talking about the kayak fleet, he can chime in and give us his 2 cents on that. So, but that pretty much wraps up the 3 majors in KBF, Bass, and Hobie BOS. And congratulations to all those winners, and kudos to Mr. Hoover on making that announcement last night. That was the best outcome for everybody.
All right, so I went ahead and picked the winning meme because Grant had a job to do and didn't do it. So
So our winning meme. So recap
I have the
this.
winning. I have the winning meme. What?
So just for a quick recap for the new viewers tuning in tonight, last week's Topwater Live episode, we do a giveaway, multiple giveaways every episode. and we had everybody just post your favorite fishing meme. It was a really easy task last week, so we're gonna let those guys show the winning meme. And
All right, so if Grant can pull up my laptop screen, if we still have that functionality. There we go. All right, so Jason Woodland is our winner from last week. So, and this is an oldie but a goodie, but I don't know, every time I see this one, I laugh.
I think this one speaks to Pyatt. I mean, that picture should be.
Hey, you can't
Pyatt
catch
on
them. You can't get back there where they live. You got to hit the dock a few times. Wake them
No,
up.
it's
tries
hitting
to
the
gas under his
pontoon.
dock and hits
Wake them
dock.
up.
Hit the
Ding,
tune
ding, ding,
exactly.
ding, dinner bell.
Leuven,
They know it's
that's
coming.
right.
I don't know, I just feel like everybody can relate to this one.
That meme speaks to me.
Oh yeah,
I
I agree.
There's a lot of them that you laugh like the first time you see it, and I might be the only person, but every time I see this one, I laugh. And Grant had a job. He yelled at me for picking this one, but he didn't do his job. So this is the one I
I had
picked.
like 6 ones that I made, and they were perfect.
You can't pick
picked
your
that
own.
one.
It was a bias. It was a bias contender.
Oh yeah, I picked my own name.
You even told me last week that you had made one that was your favorite, and you were laughing so hard, and then you just backstabbed me.
Because you
Do
can't
that.
win.
From Jason.
I feel like Jason's a repeat winner.
Yeah, he won a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember mailing off something to
think it's a
Jason just a
favoritism
few weeks
thing.
ago.
All right, so I'm going to comment on this one so that he will get that. And then Jason, if you're watching, we already have your information. So
Send it again, please.
we should have it. We will shoot that out to you.
Yeah, we
But
probably
what did he
will.
win? Let's see what he won. Let's
Okay.
get the,
Take Kyle's word for it.
what?
I said take Kyle's word for it.
For what?
Send in his information again.
No, it's going to be on the page. We're going to have it.
Might as well just take this Berkeley prize pack home with me because you're never gonna see it, Jason.
You should already have it. Anyway,
We can flip for it.
what did he win? Let's show him what he won here.
So we, Jason, with his meme win there, going home with some Berkeley Fireline, some 8-pound Fireline 8 carrier, and some Reskeet Cash Out power baits. So a couple Berkeley sponsored prize packs here going home to you, Jason. So congratulations on your win. So you guys are cracking me up back there tonight. You guys look
What
so
do we do?
disorganized back
We're
there
just
tonight
back
for
here
some
making
reason.
sure this operation stays
Screwed up
afloat.
our intro, didn't pick the meme,
That was Kyle's fault.
had
That was Kyle's fault.
our featured guest drop out on us.
I was ready to
back
start
there.
the show like 20 minutes after the show started. So.
I'm just gonna keep
Smooth
drinking.
as silk.
Gonna keep drinking my green beer
Just
and
drink green beer. Everything will be
carry
okay.
on.
Let's just give up and just let it happen.
It'll be fine. Just
No,
let
we've
us
got
flow.
people like Bill that drove 2+ hours to be here with us tonight.
I didn't
So-
say it's not going to be a good show. It's falling apart at this point. So let's just have some fun with it.
We've covered our bases. We did our due diligence. We talked about KBF. We talked about Hobie. Talked about bass. We did that. Briefly touched on the COVID virus and how crazy our world we're living in now. I didn't want to go too much into that because I think everybody's just completely
We've heard
sick
about
of-
it enough.
sick of
Tired of
hearing
it.
about it.
So I've heard back from Casey Reed. He now says that it's making me download a new version of Skype. So it sounds like he was super prepared.
Well,
So
we can do a commercial break.
let's take a look.
It's mutual.
Let's take a look at one of these Old Town videos and come back, and then let's hear about it from Steve and
And
from
Bill,
Bill,
yeah,
and
let's take a
talk
look
about
at
that.
Old Town video. We'll come back. We'll get the round table, long table, because it's not round involved, and then we'll go from there.
Cool.
We'll
Sounds
just
good.
play it by ear tonight.
Let's do it. Grant.
All right.
So are you in a 136 now?
No, mine's ordered.
Okay. How do you like the PDF? That's the thing. I was
Do one, come back, let us talk about it, then we'll go to another one, and then we'll come back with Casey.
360.
Hi, my name is Ryan Lilly with Old Town. We are thrilled to introduce the all-new Old Town Sportsman Autopilot 120 and 136, a patent-pending state-of-the-art fishing kayak that delivers the ultimate hands-free fishing experience. Minn Kota revolutionized the bass fishing industry by launching a trolling motor with spot lock technology. Today, the Old Town Sportsman Autopilot stands to have the same impact on the world of kayak fishing. What makes the Old Town Sportsman Autopilot so special is the new, seamlessly integrated, GPS-enabled 45-pound thrust, Minn Kota-powered electric motor console that propels, maneuvers, and anchors the kayak using spot lock technology. Controlled with the touch of your thumb using the iPilot remote and steered with a foot-controlled rudder, your hands remain free to catch fish. The saltwater-ready design mounts in seconds and easily docks and deploys when launching and landing. The autopilot is controlled with the Bluetooth-connected iPilot remote with a daylight-readable screen. Hold your position no matter the conditions with the GPS-enabled spot lock feature. Maintain your direction with the autopilot heading feature. Increase or decrease your speed with the plus and minus buttons. Steer your kayak using the directional arrows. And even download the Minn Kota iPilot app for your smartphone to operate your kayak with your mobile device. The autopilot was designed with the avid angler in mind. Built off the same ultra-stable W hull design found in the Topwater family, the autopilot also features a wide-open deck with EVA foam floor pads for comfortable stand-up fishing, an all-new premium, comfortable, and breathable seat experience with high and low adjustability, ample pocketing for tools and tackle, and 4 accessory tracks for on-the-fly customization, an all-new large fishing rudder controlled with adjustable foot braces for simple hands-free boat maneuverability, redesigned bow and stern carry handles making transport easier and more comfortable, a console floor plug that stows behind your seat for when you choose to leave the motor at home and want to paddle, a kill switch key that doubles as a prop wrench and includes a spare prop pin, 3 through-hull wiring kits and universal transducer mount for quick and easy fish finder installation without the need for drilling, 4 flush-mounted rod holders, 2 in the stern, 2 forward-facing, a dedicated tournament catch tray channel giving anglers a secure place to measure their fish without worrying about dropping their tray. We also designed easy-to-access storage for the catch tray when it's not in use, an incredibly spacious stern tank well that easily accommodates large coolers, tackle crates, and more, shallow water anchor mounting inserts. And the autopilot comes with a battery box. To ensure proper battery installation, align the terminals on your lead-acid or lithium-ion battery underneath the raised section of the battery lid. Secure the battery leads to the correct battery terminals and torque to the manufacturer's specifications. Ideal for lakes and ponds, slow-moving rivers, and near-shore fishing pursuits, the 12-foot-long Autopilot 120 has a max capacity of 558 pounds with a usable capacity of 400 pounds after factoring in the weight of the kayak, motor console, and 45-pound lead-acid battery. Ideal for larger anglers, larger bodies of water, and saltwater pursuits, the incredibly stable 13-foot 6-inch Autopilot 136 has a max capacity of 665 pounds with a usable capacity of 500 pounds after factoring in the weight of the kayak, motor console, and a 45-pound lead-acid battery. Available in 2 premium colorways, Ember Camo and Photo Camo, the Old Town Sportsman Autopilot will change the game of angling. The Old Town Sportsman Autopilot is available now. Visit oldtowncanoe.com to find a dealer near you.
And hope you enjoyed that awesome check-in video of the new Sportsman fleet with the 120s and the 136s. Just amazing, well thought out and designed platforms for the kayak angler. So many kayaks nowadays, doesn't matter the brand, people are trying to fab, trolling motor mounts and things like that to it. And, it works well for a lot of them, but it's just one more item that you have to attach and be wary of and how to transport it, stuff like that. With the new Sportsman fleet, just so well thought out and, to make it transportable and to go places that you couldn't really go before with some of your other motor mounts. To me, it's just truly innovative. We joke all the time about what's a real game changer. And for me, I think this is one of those real game changer setups. So, what's up?
Nothing.
Yeah, all right. It's all falling apart tonight. You look like you're about ready to say something to your mic, so I didn't.
All right, Steve. So you're the one that spent the most time on the prototypes of these. You got to be there before they really came out. I guess before we even get into the kayaks themselves, what was it like going down there and being able to check those out early?
Well, probably the most difficult thing in my life to keep a secret. As you guys know, you sign an NDA, you can't say a word. You're bound by that contract, and that's fine because they did what they wanted to do and they did it right. They wanted this release to be the biggest release ever of Old Town product. And it was awesome, but it was so hard not to just talk about what you've seen or how you've the experiences you have when you know that the new hull design is going to, I mean, it's taking market share from other competitors. We know it's going to. The stability, the weight capacity, just how it's designed. You know, when I got down there, I was a little skeptical going, man, I hope they do something big. Because the PDL's been out a while. People are waiting for something new. The MK was there, but it had a kind of this clunky, you know, console in the center.
Big mouse.
It was hard to put a board on and measure fish. They got to do something. And then all of a sudden they walked us over to this area and it was like, holy cow. And they had a sheet over the, you know, it was at the 120. They didn't have a 136 prototype, but they had over the 120. And they talked about the MK and the redesign of the 106 with the flush mount now, which is, you know, that 10-foot kayak feels like, I mean, that thing feels like you're in a 13-foot boat.
It looks like there's so much room in there.
There is. The deck is just wide open, and you can sit in there, and it's got a throttle, so you're playing like you're on an actual bass boat. And I mean, it's a cool boat. Like that blew me away. That one right there that was fun. I took that for 45 minutes. I'm going fishing.
See you later.
See you guys later. Going fishing. But you know, we kind of stepped through the process of him talking about the new stuff, all of these new items, and then he pulls the sheet back, just like in the automotive world when they pull the sheet back off the new Tesla or whatever, and in the 120 sitting there, and I'm going, holy cow, wow! It just blew me away because immediately I noticed it was completely different. You know, the hull design was different, the sidewalls were different, the well was, you know, a little bit deeper. And then the motor is so far up front where you're like, there's a dance floor in front of you, and that's on the 12-foot. Wait till the 13.6. I've yet to step in that one. That one comes tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty exciting.
I'm excited.
What time will that be there?
Yeah. I don't know, but I'm going to be there early.
I get out at 3, and that's on my way home.
It will be there. I think
It's
it will.
about an hour drive for me, but I'll make my way that way.
That's my way home. I got to stop by there.
So to see what they did and to know that they were listening to anglers and going, okay, this is the next phase into taking over the fishing industry. We know there's names out there that everybody kind of goes to when it comes to fishing kayaks.
Sure.
I mean, Hobie. You look at Hobie and it's all over. You look what they do with their tournaments, and you know, when Old Town steps up and they can literally make a dent into the market shares of big companies like that, it's like, wow,
It's pretty impressive.
They're doing something right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's
It's
why
exciting.
I'm so thrilled when they jumped on board with us just for that reason. You know,
Oh, yeah.
To bring their brand into an up-and-coming kayak series. I'm going to call us an up-and-coming series, other than those pro top-level type brands that are all over the nation. But for us being more of a regional type market, to have them jump on board with us was huge.
Yep.
You know, they've put a lot of time and effort. You know, the Old Town before the Sportsman fleet, they were already amazing products.
Oh,
but,
for sure.
But this was one of those game-changing moments. And Bill, you had the chance to check these out. You were on phone calls and with the group from the beginning. So tell us about your experience, kind of from the get-go, I guess.
Well, again, just like you, my Sportsman's ordered. But mine's not coming tomorrow.
Oh.
When I saw, you know, they had us all on a call, and they wanted to, you know, fill us in about a week before the news hit. And they, like you said, game changers thrown around a lot. Mm-hmm. And I just feel this truly is a game changer. You know, it's not a description to hype it up at all. I mean,
Totally agree.
spot lock.
Yeah,
spot lock.
Spot lock on a kayak.
Integrated spot lock, not just spot lock you mount on the front that looks
Right.
sketchy and it's like way up there. It's
Right.
supposed to be there.
And to remove that, it's 24 pounds, and it comes off in 2 seconds.
Yes.
take off the key, pull it out, it's 24 pounds, set it aside.
Unplug.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, having that integration, like last year, obviously I've got, ran with a PA 17 last year specifically so that I could put the trolling motor on the front of it with spot lock, and that was the sole reason for getting this huge kayak, because PA 12s and PA 14s, you put a motor on them, they void your warranty. So, I wanted to have that spot lock. I thought it'd be something cool to have, and it's absolutely amazing, but so many just dumb little issues. I mean, first, I had to wire everything in myself, which I think it took me forever to find this specific plug to be able to run wiring, 12-volt wiring, because it's such high, not voltage, but amperage at that point that you have to run like a 6-gauge wire, and nobody makes plugs for that. So it took me forever to find that plug. I had to run all this wiring through the hole, get everything set up, and then it worked great, but just so many little issues. And the fact of just having something that's all just integrated and ready to go without all those. I remember the one where the one little nut at the back of the mount for the trolling motor came out. So I started to go, and my whole trolling motor just kind of started to go forward. So that it just little things all the time, and it worked, but just always little things that made it such a trouble to go with.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and the crazy thing with that 136, I was in the 120, and I sat down, and you're thinking trolling motor. You're thinking long shaft trolling motor. Something's going to be in the way. You sit down, and the head of that trolling motor is not even, your castability. You can go over that thing. You're not fighting around it. It's so well thought of. It's just such a short
The
neck.
height of the motor head isn't any higher than what if your pedals were standing upright in a pedal drive.
Yeah.
It's not any higher than what the top of your pedals would be anyway. So where your feet were already going to be. So as far as castability over it, maneuverability,
I think it's further up than the pedals would be anyways.
Yeah,
It's
much farther up.
Yes.
So, but it's completely out of your way.
It is. Yeah. And when you hit that button, because we were fishing current and wind, and you hit that button and you're just watching that motor move and work, and you're not moving anywhere. It's just like, okay.
I'm so excited about the spot lock feature. For me personally, I had a Hobie 12 PA, and one of the issues that I kept running into is if there was any kind of a breeze or a current, and I had my anchor wizard mounted off the back end, so even if I would drop anchor, or if I was just trying to drift a little, and maybe it's because I had so many rods with rod socks up behind me, but I found myself constantly fishing backwards. I could never fish forward the way I wanted to without constantly keeping my feet on the pedals to put me in position. I was always getting turned around backwards. Maybe that's because all my gear and the anchor and everything was on back, so the wind just naturally spun me around like that. Maybe I just suck. But but I was always fishing backwards, and I'd try to get in close to a dock or something like that and flip some Neds or something under there, and my kayak always wanted to turn on me, and it was so frustrating. And when I knew that this feature was coming out with spot lock, it was like, oh my god, that's going to change how I personally fish.
Yeah.
Every time I go out now, I'm going to be able to get in the position that I want to be in an I can't speak effortlessly. There's such a sign.
It's the green.
Can't just that food coloring.
Get you.
I can't wait to see how this is going to change how I fish on a daily basis.
See, I had the MK last year at the beginning, about half of the season there last year. I loved the fact that I didn't get tired ever, but the bulkiness of everything and moving it around, and the biggest thing that I saw on the smaller one, they actually put a locking mechanism when it's setting up. Because the other one, you'd set it up and it'd fall down. You'd set it up and it'd fall down. And so this thing is stupid. You pick it up, set it to the side. That's the only way you can get it around. I cannot wait to get in the 136 and play around with it and see what I think about it, because I love the MK. Besides, it was green. I didn't like that. I love the MK.
What are you looking at me for?
Because you never got tired.
Right.
I mean, unless your battery died, which happened once. You can't go but so far out.
Yeah.
White Lake tends to do that to batteries.
It's big body of water.
Speaking of batteries, I like how they integrated the battery box underneath the seat. It's out of the way, and everything is you just plug it in.
Yeah.
Everything is already wired in for
already
you,
there.
and you just plug it in.
When I saw the photos, I think I was more excited about the through hulls than the actual
Yeah.
motor.
Right.
I was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
Right?
See, I ran my battery on the MK in my black pack, so that took tackle storage away from me.
Right.
Yeah.
But I put it there because then it was out of the way and I never had to worry about it, and I, put it in a case in the black pack. So that being underneath the seat and the way it's set up, I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, it's tucked up under there nicely. You can easily get to it when you need to, but other than that, it's carefree. It's out of the
And
way.
it's not in the back, because when stuff's in the back, you tend to do
That's
this a lot.
added weight to the back end, right?
So,
Yeah, your front end comes up, so that catches the wind.
yeah,
And it
that's why
immediately
you were having
turns you.
such trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why I was having. Everything was heavy loaded in the back end.
Carried 16 rods and
Just 10.
200,000 pounds worth of tack.
That's true.
Soft plastic.
Well, that's another thing,
That's
though.
true. I take a tackle store out
Yeah,
there every time I go.
you look at the storage capacity on that 136 and the 120. I mean, you can literally put 2 crates, back to back
Perfect.
in the back, and you're carrying all your rods, as much gear, as much tackle as you want.
I love it.
So
We talk about having my anchor wizard and stuff mounted off the back end of my Hobie, but with this, with the the pre-portioned power pole set up off the back end of this,
yeah,
it just makes it so much easier for everybody that's running power poles. Even if you have stakes like that, it's already molded and set up for you to mount that with just with ease. It was so well thought out with all these little details for the kayak angler that game changer mentality. They put so much time thinking about all these different little things that it definitely changed the kayak setup.
Yeah, I really like the dual power poles in the back. I think that's
Yeah.
cool. I don't love the fact that I gotta have 2 power
No,
poles.
you have to have 2
but
power poles.
by the way, they're on order.
I know a guy that got them.
I know a
I know this guy.
I just need
Diesel?
my one. That'll be fine.
What are some of the other features about the platform that you like, Bill?
I wish I had the experience that Steve did with them, but the platform just clears up the space. I mean, like you said, the motor's so far up, it's not even like having pedals in front of you.
Right.
And for me, not that they got in the way a ton, but sometimes I'll mount a camera on top or something. Well, I would get snagged constantly. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's so nice. So with all the tracks already pre-built on there, for any of the Yak Attack attachments, anything like that, it's already ready to go. I just bought a Mighty Mount off of you today from Waterdog. If you need any Yak Attack Mighty Mounts, call Waterdog. Because I needed to hook up a VisiPole on a Hobie, and I had nowhere else to mount it, and I needed another Mighty Mount. And with this, again, well thought out. All the tracks are already there. You can hook up your cameras, hook up your VisiPoles, hook up your flags, anything you need. Tracks are already put there.
Well, in micro storage, when the foot pedals run, so you have your tracks for your foot pedals, and they've actually molded out little storage areas behind the track.
I noticed that.
So you can put smaller boxes or pliers or anything, that within grasp. I mean, you have all of your storage, necessary at an arm's reach. It's beautiful.
I think I saw 3 Planos right on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing storage.
Yeah, and the seat to me looked unbelievable in the pictures that I saw. The seat looked amazing.
Yep.
And going from the MK, which was, I think, in 2016, to the 2020, to looking at that seat, I'm sitting there going, that seat looks really comfortable. I want to try that seat.
I'm excited. There's so many awesome advantages to the design of this platform, and we're gonna jump over real quick. Angler Casey Reed is gonna join us here real fast, who's actually had the pleasure of being one of the first anglers to take out the Sportsman fleet down at Logan Martin and actually fished that tournament out of this platform. And so we're gonna jump over to Casey real quick and talk to him for a couple minutes about his experience with the Old Town Sportsman. I can't see.
Here he is.
Is he on? Hi, Casey. How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Thanks for joining us tonight, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Awesome. Well, as we mentioned before, it's Old Town Night here at the Topwater Live Studio, and you were one of those special anglers that was able to take out the new Sportsman line down at Logan Martin a couple weeks ago, and we're all curious to hear about your experience fishing out of that new platform and what that was like for you and what you really liked about it, what you didn't like. Anything is on the table, so.
Yeah, so I actually got to test it out down in Miami, I guess about a month before, and that was like the first time I kind of actually laid my eyes on it. But I mean, just first seeing it, it's just a beast of a boat. I mean, the storage, the deck space, I mean, it kind of blew my mind at how much room there is on that kayak.
Absolutely.
You know, it's 37 inches wide, so it's only an inch wider than like the Predator PDL, but I mean, it just feels like you have so much more room. That's what
a lot of people have talked about that's had the opportunity out of the Old Town gang that have used these over the last couple of weeks since the reveal, is the amount of room and space on the deck that they feel like that's available to them. We were just talking about that a minute ago with the motor being mounted a little bit farther forward and without those pedals right there, the amount of deck space that you have and the amount of storage space that opens up for you, that's huge for an angler.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, that's kind of, I mean, I love the Predator PDL, but that was kind of my only issue with it is, I mean, I tournament fish. I like to bring a lot of gear with me, and it was just kind of, you kind of had to pack tight in the PDL, but now, man, I can bring everything. That's I was awesome. In the driveway a little bit earlier trying to get everything set up, trying to figure out how I'm going to situate everything, and it's been fun just being able to try to rig a new kayak. I've been in the Predator series for I don't know how many years now. I mean, 4 or 5 years now. So to get in a different platform, I mean, that alone is just fun. But to be such a great platform, to have the motor, the spot lock, I'm pumped to get some more time in it.
Yeah, absolutely. You were one of the anglers at the Old Town tent down at Logan Martin when Ryan Lilly revealed this to the public at like 5:30 a.m. that day. So yeah. What was the atmosphere like in that group of anglers down there? I would have given anything to have been under that tent with you guys, but you could go back and watch that video and see the people's faces as he was going through all the different features about it. And what was your first? Now, you'd already had the chance to kind of check it out down in Miami, but what were you seeing people's reactions like when they revealed this to the public?
Oh, I mean, so yeah, I worked the booth at the expo, and man, I mean, we had so many people come by, and people were just walking by like staring, like, what is that? I mean, that having the motor up front like that. I mean, a lot of guys are bow mountain motors now, but I mean, to have it built into a kayak, nobody's seen that before. I mean, it hasn't been done before like that. So I mean, people gave it a lot of interest at the expo for sure.
That's awesome. That's great to hear. It's getting such positive responses. Now, with you personally being able to fish off this platform during the tournament down there, how did it change your fishing, going from something that you're pedaling with your feet to now you're controlling with a remote control? How did that change your fishing style? Was it much change at all, or was it just more comfortable?
So it didn't change a lot because I got 1 day to pre-fish out of it, and then a tournament day with it. So it's kind of hard, I mean, you're used to doing what you've done before. So I mean, just having a motor like that, it definitely opened up water. I did on pre-fishing, I just did a lot of scanning rather than, sometimes I just get lazy and I'm just like, well, I'll just fish and kind of scan as I go. Sure. But I just cut the motor on and just, zip down the bank and just stared at the graph. And I mean, you can stand up. I was going full speed, had it on 10, standing up. So like, especially getting to be, you know, in the next month, sight fishing, being able to just cruise the bank while you're standing up and looking for bedding fish. I mean, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, because I mean the PDL, you can like kind of give it a couple kicks and stand up, but then you know you're always going to stop. And I've even had a method of trying to pedal while I'm standing, but that usually doesn't work out too well. But yeah,
I'd like to see that where you're kicking down at it.
I've
used that before.
Yeah, I've used the hands, but I've also tried to where I just step on the pedals and you know one at a time and try to keep it going. Haven't fell in doing that yet, but I'm kind of surprised I haven't. But
that's awesome, man. Well, Casey.
But yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, like I mean, just to be able to stand and physically look down in the water while you're also scanning is a total game changer for sure.
That's huge for sure. The
be
spawn
big.
is quickly approaching for a lot of us to be able to go out and do that sight fishing with a moving kayak with both hands on a rod. That's going to be amazing, a huge bonus feature for everybody out of this platform. So,
yep.
What's next on your schedule of events? Where are you headed next to fish?
So I'm actually heading down this weekend to Sharon Harris, gonna fish with the Carolina Kayak Anglers.
Kayak Anglers, nice.
Yeah, they're a great group of people. I've known them for years, and this tournament's about 2 hours away from me, but Sharon Harris is an unbelievable fishery. If you've never heard of it, look it up, and it's definitely a bucket list place to go.
That sounds awesome, man. Well, before we let you go, just want to say thank you very much for taking a couple minutes and jumping on with us tonight. We wanted the chance to talk to an angler that had had the experience on the Sportsman platform in an actual tournament setting and get your thoughts on it. And I know you represented it well. We're actually, after this interview, we're going to cut to a video that shows you on this platform and your time down at Logan Martin from our friend Bogdan, who provided us a video of you on the Sportsman, excuse me, while you were down at Logan Martin. So I'm excited to check out this video with everybody of you out there using this new platform. And can't thank you enough, like I said, for jumping on with us and answering a couple questions, and wish you the best of luck, man, in this crazy country we're living in right now.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, and thank you guys for having me on. And yeah, the video is awesome. Bogdan did a great job on it, and I'm glad he chose to follow me around for the tournament day. And yeah, I mean, I was so pumped when I saw that video that he did. So
absolutely.
So yeah, I hope you all enjoy it.
We will. I like that T-shirt you're wearing there too, by the way.
Yeah, I got this the other day.
Right on, man.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day, Casey. I appreciate it, man, and thanks for helping out my fantasy kayak team too, brother.
I'm doing my best, man.
Thank you so much, man. We'll talk soon. I appreciate it.
All right, y'all take care. Have a good night.
All right, you too, bud. Further ado, let's take a look at that video that our friend Bogdan was able to take of Casey down at the Logan Martin tournament, and he captured some amazing footage, and you can definitely check this out on the Kayak Outbreak YouTube channel and also on the social media outlets. But Bogdan was nice enough to send us this video of Casey out on the water, so let's check it out.
So I'm here debuting the Old Town Autopilot 136. It's got the Minn Kota motor up front and spot lock. It's a freaking huge kayak. This is only my second time in it. I got to test it out about a month ago. Been getting everything rigged up on it past couple days. This thing is freaking awesome. It's a beast. As you can see, I'm standing up in it. I can walk around all the way to the front. I
found standing up, I can also, you can use the trolling motor to steer, but I can also use my tops of my feet to kick the rudder back. And if you want to stand and not have to use the remote, you can just engage it a little bit and work a bank.
I got pictures of it.
Man, I can't wait to go fishing. Holy smokes. Seeing Casey out there on that platform, I'm shocked
just
at
wanna
how
fish.
quick he was moving across there.
And stand up.
I mean, that just changes so many things that you normally are doing. Normally you're kicking pedals to move, and you know, when you want to stop, you got to drop anchors and set yourself up right with the wind and the current and blah, blah, blah. And this just changes everything. And Bogdan did an amazing job with that video. It was so well presented with those shots of Casey out there on the water. So thank you both to Bogdan and to Casey for jumping on with us, and just to give us one more vantage point of checking out the 136 there in that video. And I love that collar.
Yeah.
You would love that color.
The amber collar is what I personally
That's
ordered.
Tennessee orange.
What?
Tennessee
That's
orange.
Tennessee orange, just so you know.
No, it's not.
Yeah, just so you know.
It's Topwater Series
No,
orange.
it's Tennessee
Didn't you know?
Topwater
They called us. It was like, hey, what series?
What color do you
Series, huh?
want?
Yeah.
What color do you
Once
want?
again, lay out the green.
What's the
You're on.
Topwater Series color scheme? Like it's black and orange, and they're like, perfect.
Just
no,
glad
that,
it's not green.
that didn't happen. They could have cared less about that. But
That's a beautiful color.
oh, it's so pretty. And the photic blue camo pattern is really pretty too. But I love that orange and black camo, the amber camo. Oh my gosh, it just looked awesome out there on the water. And for me personally too, like, you know, our family, we're avid outdoors people. You know, we do a lot of waterfowl hunting and stuff like that. And I know this boat was well thought out and designed for the kayak angler, but we were talking about this earlier, that like that instantly just became my new duck hunting boat. Like, you know, to power through the water, hands-free, remote control, and be able to duck hunt off something like that.
Do you shoot better than you fish?
I just go for the experience, man. Like I said, I'm an avid outdoorsman. I just like to be outdoors.
He said avid outdoorsman. He didn't say expert outdoorsman.
Yeah, there was no expert.
You didn't say marksman. You didn't say pro angler.
Just like being outside. It became my new picture-taking kayak of ducks. But no, there's so many advantages to having that type of setup like that, whether you're fishing or whether you want to use it for other things like duck hunting or something like that, to get out to a water blind quickly. And I mean, that just replaced the big Johnny boats and the aluminum boats and stuff like that to go out waterfowl hunting. You don't need that.
Casey Reed just commented on my party and said, when I saw the Ember in person, I had to have it.
Oh yeah, I believe it. I haven't seen it in person, but just the videos.
Which color did you get?
Ember.
Okay, you didn't get the other one.
What color did you?
I ordered Ember.
Ember?
Did you?
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of Ember sportsmen out there on the water.
A lot of orange. So if I decide to get one, get the blue one.
You got to go. You got to go. With the
So if I get one, I got to get the blue one.
Grant will get the orange one with red or pink ties.
Pink tie, yeah.
It's gotta be different. Hey, don't hate.
That's right.
See, Don gets it because he's got the green on his.
Lime green on
Don's
a
got
smoked
green
camo
everything.
kayak. It looks good,
Green
man.
jersey. I'm surprised you don't have 13 rods. Green rods still.
Yeah.
I know you can buy some from. Diesel's got some for sale, bro.
I got some. I can give you some. I'll sell you a couple.
All my rods I made it are all wrapped green, lime green wraps.
Was that your fishing 13 rods?
I just have a small 13 fishing addiction so far, so I just happened to buy a couple rods here and there, and
You can see Diesel from across the lake, and all you have to see is it looks like a glow behind it.
I was in a bright orange kayak with bright orange rods or bright green rods.
I love it.
Paddling.
I like all my stuff to match like that. All my rods to match. I like everything to look nice and pretty. I don't know why. Probably because I take more pictures of my gear than I do on a fish.
It's okay. You're doing it for the gram.
Yeah, right.
I just didn't want my kayak to look like the other smoke kayaks out there, so I put all lime green on it.
I like it. Yeah, it
turned out all right.
It's a lot better
It
than
looks
pink.
good.
Better than pink.
Pink and red doesn't make any
Have
sense.
green pedals on this year too. So.
I love it.
Green catch board.
Well, in my defense, I meant to get like UV purple, so I wanted to get UV purple.
That wasn't UV
lights.
purple.
But when I ordered it came in hot pink. Like, I couldn't get any hotter, any more pink. So now I've got like 50 feet of this bungee cord that I use like 3 feet of. So
I love
any
it.
pink bungee cord, you know how to get me. Give you a deal.
I think she wants some for hers.
I love it. Speaking of rods, I made a new Michigan Kayak Trail sponsorship announcement earlier today, right before we jumped on the episode. So what we have done is we've partnered up with Luz and also with Strike King as a new sponsorship for the Michigan Kayak Trail. And what that entails is at every Michigan Kayak Trail event, Luz is going to donate a new custom Luz rod and will be given to the Big Bass Pot winner of that event. So if you're at an MKT event and you win Big Bass at the event, you're going to walk home with a new Luz custom rod.
That's awesome.
For every MKT event. So that's awesome.
Plus the cash.
And the cash, yeah. Whatever the side pot
pod.
is, that's yours as well. But you're also getting a new custom Luz rod to take home. Now, in addition to that, something that was amazing, and like we talked about a little bit ago, we like to send as many people home with something as we can, whether you're in the money or not. Through Luz, the Strike King lure company has donated spools of the Strike King tour grade line, all different lines. You know, I don't know whether it's going to be braid, mono, fluoro, or what pound test it is. But if you register for an MKT tournament, you automatically are going to go home at that event with a Strike King spool of line. So, I mean, hundreds and hundreds of spools of line will be given away. I think we can 550, 600 spools of line will be given away and donated through those guys through MKT events this year, plus the 7-8 Luz rods that we're going to give away. So thank you very much to Luz Fishing and to Strike King Lure Company on those donations that just came in today. Really appreciate it. And that's, you know, anytime we can guarantee that if you come to an event, whether you have a horrible day and you skunk, you're still going home with, you know, a cool prize.
Or you fall in, life jacket goes off, you do some things.
Right?
Sure will happen. Knock on wood, hasn't happened to me yet.
You got a wetsuit now. So.
No, I got a
It
dress
don't matter
suit.
now.
Yep.
Jump in.
Yeah. You got a fancy new wetsuit today.
A dry suit. I'm not
Where'd you
gonna
get
be
that
wet.
wetsuit?
Oh, Waterdog Outfitters. So if you need a dry suit, call up Steve.
Yep.
He'll get you hooked up.
We have them
Yeah,
in stock
absolutely.
now.
In stock even.
Yep.
You'll notice that on these awesome limited edition shirts that we're wearing tonight, they all adorn the Waterdog logo on here. And that is because Steve is also our main Old Town dealer. So if you are interested in, what's up?
You gotta stop turning your head with your mic up where it's at.
We have this issue.
Just don't look at me.
Just don't put it here. Like, put it down here. Put it on the shirt.
Straight ahead.
Put it down further.
It's supposed to be there.
No, it can be on the shirt. That's where there are clips on it.
All right. Sorry about that.
That's
public.
okay.
Are you sorry? Are you
It sounded
sorry?
like your mic was like in your throat and then like twisted. It was like, "Ah."
Throat mic.
So I'm gonna kind of take over that one, and we did receive word from Old Town. We've been kind of working some details out. So the two series on the west side of the state, so Lakeshore and Roots, will be represented by Waterdog, so as the official Old Town dealer in those areas. And then on the east side of the state, Summit Sports will be jumping on, and we'll be representing Old Town on those ones. So we're still working out the official naming, but I think it'll be something.
So Waterdog on the Lakeshore and Roots division.
Yep.
As our Old Town representative dealership.
Yep.
And then on the east side of the state, Summit Sports.
Correct, yep.
Perfect. That's a match made in heaven. MKT and Summit Sports work really well together, and great sponsorship partnership there. So happy to have them jump on board as our east side reps of Old Town platforms. So amazing job. So,
Exciting.
yeah, it is exciting. Now, you personally, you placed a dealer order a while ago, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I placed it in October.
In October. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you were talking about the not being able to talk about this leading up to the reveal a couple weeks ago, and that was really hard.
Oh, it's painful.
For us, Bill was probably in the same boat where we had to sign non-disclosures a while ago, and then there was so much time between when we signed those NDAs and when they actually revealed it down at Logan Martin. It was like, I just want to tell somebody about this. I just want to show a picture of somebody.
It's funny because you'd read stuff online because there were rumors going around. You'd read stuff like on the Jackson page I read, and I come to you guys, I'm like, hey, what did y'all hear about this? You're like, nothing. Nope, not a thing. That's a lie. Don't listen to that crap. PDL's the only one they got.
You were even trying to trip us up one night. It was a couple weeks ago at a Topwater Live episode. You were like, so did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's all lies. Don't believe it.
You wouldn't believe it, but he is the one out of this group that should be in politics.
Yeah.
Well,
true.
Working his angles.
I can talk paint dry, so.
Can talk paint dry. That's true.
Now, when you place a pretty substantial order in October, and know it's not coming in until April, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. It's hard for a small paddle sport shop not to start pre-selling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And get people excited about something new coming in, especially when this day and age when you're on Facebook or you're on a fishing forum and you're seeing everyone buying new kayaks. And you're like, my season needed to start 2 months ago. Why are they not here? We needed to kick this off. And their partnership with BASS was about as perfect as they could have done. Because they broke the mold. They didn't release something at ICAST, diluting the fact that it's something new like everybody does at ICAST. They kind of set the bar so high, releasing it when nobody else is releasing a single new product. Everybody else has their stuff out, and it's kind of already through the cycle, and there's not much excitement. Well, we're in 2020. We're just getting into our fishing season, and
absolutely.
And it's hot. It's hot. Yeah, it's genius.
Trade-ins are going to be.
Trade-ins are going to be fantastic.
Right.
Yeah. That'll be the tough part.
Used PDL sales.
We do trade-ins, I'll tell you that. But you're better off putting them on Facebook Marketplace. So no, it's exciting times. It really is. And
absolutely.
There's a lot going into this season that I'm excited about, other than this Corona thing that we're dealing with.
For sure.
Other than that, it's going to be a good year.
I know
Grant's Corona back here has the virus. Apparently, it's green.
It's green.
Green Corona.
That's what happened.
It went bad.
That's what happened.
Oops.
It went bad.
Cross-culture contamination there.
So talking about the spot lock, one of the things that when I first had it, I thought, all right, it's windy. You're trying to sit on a hump or sit on a log or something like that and cast, and I thought it'd be great. But exactly what he said, fishing docks is so amazing out of that thing. And like what Casey was saying, where he's kind of going down the shore and making casts and stuff like that. Just your ability to maneuver yourself without having to sit back down or grab it's just absolutely amazing. I mean, you're sitting on one side of the dock, you want to cast the other side of the dock, you just jog it forward, and you're on the other side of the dock sitting there. I mean, if you catch a fish and you want to stay in the spot, I mean, as soon as I'd get a fish on or something like that, I'd hit that remote, hit the spot lock on the remote, and I know that I'm staying right in that spot. And so catch that fish, go back for another, mark that spot, whatever you want to do. But it just many ways.
I think the advantage that it gives to anglers like us that participate in these style of tournaments. Now, some of the bigger tournaments and even the MKTs that happen on a Saturday, and it's a 7 to 8 hour tournament, you can get away with moving around and not making continuous cast at all times, which is fine. But on like the league type series that we run on our weeknight schedule, it's a 3 hour event. You don't have a lot of time to be out there messing around, and you need to get in as many quality casts as you can to try and find those fish in a short amount of time. A product like this is going to allow you to maximize that time and to be totally hands-free, now legs-free, to maximize the amount of casts that you can go out and to be able to park right in front of a dock or something like that on some of the smaller bodies of water that we fish on. And I think that's just an amazing advantage.
That's what I want to try, because I love flipping docks. Like, that's my favorite thing to do. Summertime, I'm skipping jigs underneath docks all day.
And if you pull one one out of there, there's more under there.
There's
You know?
always more.
By the time you fight that one and you've drifted down, 15, 20 yards, and somebody else over there saw you pull that one out of there.
And they got your
You know,
spot.
yeah, boom, they're there.
Well,
you
how
know?
far did you move when we were on Elks Lake? It was real rough. You catch a fish. By the time you net it, you put him on your board. You
I
said,
didn't catch
now
any
he's
fish on Elk Lake.
60 yards from me. We were fishing together. He's way over here.
Mike didn't have that problem. He broke a
He had
big
no
one off.
problem.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But that would be good. You could stay in your little area. Once you catch a fish and you're going through all your,
Right.
next thing you know, you're not paying attention. You're way over here.
Well, and we found pods. We
Yeah.
found pods of smallies that we'd go over one area. There's hook up. Go back over that area.
That way
hook
you
up.
could stay in that
literally stay
area.
right
So
there. Yeah.
I didn't have an anchor long or a rope long enough on anchor to anchor there,
Oh, we're
so
fishing
I'm
25
pedaling
feet.
this way and this way.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be cranking an anchor up from 25 feet
No.
anyways.
No.
Well, and we didn't even mention, that iPilot or Spot Lock. You can download the app, so
Yeah.
you pull your kayak off the trailer, the wind blows it off the boat launch, like somebody the other day.
That would have been nice.
You can
Would've
pull
had
your
that
app
come
up,
help
and
me.
you can literally pull your kayak right to shore.
Yeah, it's a remote control kayak.
I
Like,
mean-
it's
Yep. Yeah, talking about
It's
the
amazing.
dock fishing, there was a time last year, and Heath, who comes on our show regularly, was fishing an area, and so I started going into there and going up towards the dock, and he's like, "Oh no, I fished it. There's nothing underneath there," and I was able to line just perfectly right exactly where I wanted to be and skip so far underneath that dock because I knew I'm sitting right there. I'm not going to drift a little bit or anything like that. And first cast, pull out a fish, and it's just like
It's probably because he used his fish finder.
Sonar, he would have found
The
it.
sonar would have found them, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't make that cast if you're moving at all. I mean, you had to be in that exact
Yeah.
spot because I'm casting right straight down underneath the dock, and you're not going to move that. If you move 2 feet the other direction, you're not making that cast. And another thing, too, that a lot of people don't think about is if you're fishing like a big hump or something like that. Well, normally you're trying to kind of keep yourself on that area, but with Spot Lock, you can put yourself exactly where you want to be. So if you're sitting off that hump and you're casting onto it, and then you want to be, more in the middle of it and cast off of it or on the other side of it, you can just, even in a lot of wind, you can dial in that exact location and be able to, cast to exactly where you want. So just really being able to pick apart an area.
I think going back to what Casey was saying too about being able to sight fish like that, being able to stand up, cruise and sight fish. I like to do that a lot. Like I do that at Stearns over here, when I'm on the Grand and stuff. Couple, like the last MKT tournament, I was spot fishing back there in Stearns and fish everywhere. But you had to cruise a little, stand up, check things out, and get back down, cruise a little,
Did you catch fish? Did it work?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Oh,
Sure did.
Just making sure. I mean, I'm only like 5 minutes from Stern, so just checking.
You were in that Red Rocket Predator and just kicked everybody's ass off the starting line with that thing. And
Apparently, I had a head start, said Heath, but
I think you cheated too, but
still couldn't catch me.
I've got videos and pictures to prove it. But it's
How many
tough.
fish
Alright.
you catch that, Grant?
I did okay. I tried a lot back, I fished there a lot, so I'll make sure there's some when I come back the next day. And,
He's preserving the population.
yeah.
My
So
favorite part about that day was
didn't
the
wanna hurt 'em.
dinosaur snapping turtles I took video of.
So we got one more. Hold on, I gotta do some music here.
Uh-oh.
We got a surprise.
All right, so we got one more quick little Irish music. Oh, this is like
nice.
the Titanic one.
That is the Titanic.
Oh, this is so much.
Change that.
Make
Not
All right,
sinking.
so-
We're not sinking.
That's not good music.
All right, so before we jump to, we got one more little video here of the one of the new Old Town kayaks. But before we do that, Tom said in this comment here,
Oh boy.
which says insert Pyatt photo, and he recently had me or sent me a picture of the meme that won tonight with Pyatt's face on it. So
Works for me.
we decided that we needed to throw that up there.
That's
And
Better
then,
than the one Mike made last year.
That's great.
oh yeah, I remember that one.
So you should win something on that then, right?
Yeah, I
You
get
should
the
win
prize back.
something.
Angler of the Year's disqualified.
We'll send something to Tom. I mean, that's really
Something to Tom.
it's really him that did that.
That
so.
way, Tom.
All right, so we are going to take a quick little break, show that other Old Town video that we got, and then we will be right back.
Sounds good.
Hi, my name is Ryan Lilly with Old Town. We're here today to talk about the all-new Old Town Sportsman 106 powered by Minn Kota, an easy-to-use motorized fishing kayak with a wide-open cockpit and intuitive controls. The heart of this kayak is the new seamlessly integrated Minn Kota powered electric motor console. The new low-profile design gives anglers an open deck area to stand, land fish, and move around. The console has a watertight storage hatch, an accessory mounting plate, and tips up quickly and easily when launching or landing your kayak. To install the motor console, place the motor in the cradle and turn the lock knobs to secure. You can use the kickstand to prop the console in the docked position before plugging in the motor. When you're ready, release the console kickstand, securing the motor with the lock knob located between your legs. Plug in the kill switch and you're ready to go. To remove the console, first unplug the motor, turn the latch in the front and the latches in the rear, and lift up using the handle. To paddle the 106 powered by Minn Kota without the motor console, simply install the included console floor plug. When the plug is not in use, it can be stored out of the way in the stern tank well. The kill switch connects via magnet through the base of the motor console on one end and to the angler on the other end. The kill switch connector also serves as a prop wrench with a spare prop pin included. We wanted this kayak to be simple and easy for nearly anyone, so we designed a new throttle-style thrust control lever for simple forward and reverse speed control. The foot brace rudder steering makes for an intuitive, hands-free fishing experience. And the 106 powered by Minn Kota comes with a battery box. To ensure proper battery installation, align the terminals on your lead-acid or lithium-ion battery underneath the raised section of the battery lid. Secure the battery leads to the correct battery terminals and torque to the manufacturer's specifications. This kayak features a 10-foot, 6-inch ultra-stable W hull design, the same hull shape found on the Topwater series. The shorter hull and lower weight make this motorized kayak a breeze to transport in car top, especially for those without access to a trailer or pickup. It also includes the universal transducer mounting system for quick and easy fish finder installation. You'll notice that the 106 powered by Minn Kota comes with 3 pre-installed wiring caps to make installing fish finders and other electronics even easier. The cockpit is loaded with ample pocketing for tools and tackle and comes with accessory tracks and a forward-facing rod holder. We've even covered the deck with grippy EVA foam floor pads for comfortable stand-up fishing. Another great feature we added is a dedicated tournament catch tray channel, giving anglers a secure place to measure their fish without worrying about dropping their tray. We also designed easy-to-access storage for the catch tray when not in use. The all-new seat design features a new, padded and breathable material so you stay comfortable all day on the water. The stern of the kayak is incredibly spacious and loaded with features. We've included 2 flush-mounted rod holders behind the seat, 2 accessory tracks on the gunnels, storage for the console floor plug, an open tank well for crates, coolers, and other gear, a dedicated shallow water anchor mounting plate, and the all-new large fishing rudder with an integrated handle. We've also included 2 new molded-in carry handles to make carrying the kayak even easier. Available in 2 premium colorways, Ember Camo and Photic, the 10-foot, 6-inch Old Town Sportsman 106 powered by Minn Kota weighs in at 96 pounds, not including the battery. The hull weighs 79 pounds, and the motor console weighs 17 pounds. The maximum capacity of the Old Town Sportsman 106 powered by Minn Kota is 525 pounds. The available capacity for an angler plus gear is 390 pounds after factoring in the weight of the kayak, motor console, and a 45-pound lead-acid battery. The Old Town Sportsman 106 powered by Minn Kota is available now. Visit oldtowncanoe.com/sportsman to find a dealer near you.
Alright, welcome back everybody, and I hope you enjoyed that video of the Sportsman 106s. Another awesome platform. We've talked about the 136s and the 120s, but the 106s, super cool platform. It's just like driving a boat out there.
It looks like a race boat. Like, I think it would be fun just to get a couple of them and just race them around like go-karts. I think we need to have Topwater go-kart series.
Topwater go-kart series?
Topwater water go-kart series.
Man.
Let's do it.
So since we've got a couple guests here at the table today that haven't been here in a while or that are new, we always like to play a game with our new guests called Best Fail. So we want to ask you about what your best fishing fail is, whether you It could be anything.
While they think about that one for a minute, we've got a question that popped up here in the chat. So Matt says, what are all of your favorites Michigan lakes to fish? Top two, upper and lower. So we can kind of go around and talk about that for a minute while they get a chance to think about how they want to word their biggest fishing.
I like how he
fails.
asked upper too, because I'm pretty sure Matt is in the upper right now. And I'm pretty sure Matt's a veteran too, so thank you, Matt. Thank you for your service.
I can go first with my favorite lake. My favorite lake to fish is the lake I grew up on.
What's that lake?
Lake Cora. It's in Van Buren County.
Lake Cora?
Lake Cora. I grew up on
I've
a lake.
never heard of that one before.
It's a small lake. It's spring-fed, round, not bad. It's deep. Deepest part's 90 feet. And so, but I just grew up fishing it. I know all the holes. I know all the docks. My first memory of catching a bass is with my dad is on that lake. So that's my spot. Like I'll go home and go see my mom and be like, all right, Mom, go and fish it. And go kick it, go to the spots where my dad caught these 20 inchers, where he caught the 3-pounder, where I took my nephew out there last year and he caught his biggest fish, caught a 20-inch fish. And so I go to all those spots. And so that's my favorite lake. So if you want to go check it out, then yeah, there you go. That's my lake. I don't have anything in.
I saw Chris Blair's post, and I know where his undisclosed location is.
Should we disclose it? What's that little meme? It'd be a shame if someone disclosed it.
It would be a shame.
Mine is Lake Chickamauga. I got to go real far south for that. I wouldn't even consider it.
He said in Michigan.
I don't care.
Theoretically, he said lower. That is lower than the bridge.
Lower than Michigan.
Chickamauga. Not even close anywhere else.
What else?
I haven't been on St. Clair yet, so I might get a rude awakening there and decide that it's the greatest, because all my Tennessee guys back are saying KBF has an event on Fort Loudon on June 6th, the same day as our event on St. Clair.
Maybe.
Well, I grew up in Knoxville. I grew up fishing Fort Loudon, so I had to make a decision. All my guys down there said, hey, you're an idiot if you leave St. Clair to come down here. So I'm going to St. Clair.
Nice. Nice. What about you, Bill? Favorite two spots?
I hate to follow up St. Clair with St. Clair, but once you've experienced a good spring on Lake St. Clair, you're hooked.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to miss spring on St.
So
Clair.
when we going?
You guys are all invited. Second, I'd have to rely on a lake that I fish constantly. It's we have a family place on a small lake in northern Michigan, Kalkaska area. It's called Indian Lake. It has dinks, nothing but dinks.
That wouldn't be the same Indian Lake in Blue Lake Township, would it?
That is exactly
Well, that would be the same lake that we have a cottage on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can attest to that dink fest.
Yeah.
You could catch
So with the
8
water
to 12s
levels up
all day.
So with the water levels up, we access the backwaters now,
Yep.
and I pulled 18.5 incher out of there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I might
But
have to link up with you sometime.
that was a
'cause
rarity. That
Next
was a
time he's up
rarity.
there, Grant's going to be in his small spurs.
he's true. There's a little canal, and when the water's low, you can't get back there.
Nope.
But if you get back there, you could catch dink after dink all day long
All day.
and just have a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They
that's what
love
I do with my kids. I mean, they love it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Small world.
What about you, Don?
Probably White Lake. I grew up there fishing there with my dad and my brothers. But I mean, that's where we always fished. I lived blocks from there, and we would walk down there and fish all day as we were kids.
That was the spot.
They haven't let that lake dry up yet?
Nope, not dried up yet.
Nope.
It's running over the roads. We didn't dry up. It's in his parking lot.
It's not drying up.
That's part of the Waterdog deal, isn't it? You just roll right out.
Right out the back door into the water.
Yep.
What's your number two?
We'd like fishing Bear Lake in North Muskegon.
Bear Lake in North Muskegon.
There's a lot of little bayous in there that you can catch some nice fish in there.
Attached to the Muskegon.
Yeah, it's attached to the Muskegon, but we've
Right
got a lot of nice fish in there.
Nice.
And
Is
it's,
that the lake on the north side of Muskegon?
Correct.
yes.
Yeah.
The problem is if you go there on a holiday, that little lake, they did boat the crap out
Packed.
of it.
It's packed.
You can't go out, 4th of July weekend don't even try.
Yep.
All them North Muskegon, you want to get the other boats in there, and
Mullen said St. Clair on the screen.
Mullins to St. Clair.
Of course
I
he
can
did.
see that.
I'm surprised
about
you
you,
say
Steve?
Traverse
I've
Bay.
never fished Lake St. Clair.
Me neither.
I'm
Me neither.
actually excited to try that body of water.
I live over there, and
and
I've
just
never been out there.
How many people talk about it? It's such a great fishery. I'm following Diesel when it's, it's kind of a family thing. I grew up and the funny thing is I just had a dream about this morning. I woke up thinking about my home lake that I grew up on, Maston Lake. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yep.
Over in Greenville area.
Don't we have a tournament there?
Okay.
No,
Nope.
no, dude,
We
it
need
was. It's one of those lakes you walk out to the dock and you can cast into the the weeds, or you hit the lily pads on this side, or you just take a little, which is where I started in kayaks and canoes. I'd take the canoe out, paddle across right to the island, the little sunken island, and I'd just sit there with MEPS number 3s at 8 years old.
Yeah.
Just MEPS number 3s
I
and
love it.
pike and bass and everything. Beautiful. Just a
love
great
it.
memory, more so than anything. So that was awesome. Elk Lake is probably my second,
Elk
just
Lake?
because of such a great tournament last year.
It's beautiful up there,
and
too.
It is.
Good Lord, it's
such
pretty.
a beautiful lake.
Yeah, Elk and Muskegon are two of my favorite in Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm not going to disclose my other favorite, but Grant knows. He's been there.
It sucks. It's terrible.
It sucks for him, but I
don't catch
pulled some
anything
good
there.
ones out of it.
What about you, Grant?
Kind of jump on with what everybody else said. Elk Lake, super fun lake. Did pretty good last year there. Kind of got a bug to go back.
Did you?
But also what Bill said, that little Indian lake. If you just want to catch fish, it's so much fun. Just throw that Senko out, let it eat.
Nice.
Super fun.
What about you, Kyle?
Upper Peninsula, obviously Big Beta Knock is going to be the one that I'm going to have to throw out there, just because grew up fishing that. It's kind of where I learned to fish and kind of spoiled up there. I guess I didn't really learn to fish up there because I'm so spoiled fishing up there, but that would kind of be the one. I mean, I haven't really fished a lot of other lakes in the UP, so I can't really throw any others out there that I would say is a favorite. Lower Peninsula, I would say probably the Grand River, just because it's so many different types of fishing out there. I've never really done well out there. I just enjoy fishing it. And then I actually say Camp Lake up in Sparta, which is kind of a lake that, it's a dink lake for sure, but it's just fun to take the kids out there. You can go grab a spot and you can just sit there and catch fish after fish after fish. And yeah, there's, 14, 15 is the biggest you're going to get, but it's just fun. I like going out there and sitting and fishing.
Right
and then Matt jumped in. He answered his own question. He says that Fletcher's and Loon Lake for below the bridge, Bridge, Lake Independence and Moccasin for the upper. And then he says that he is in Munising. So kind of to answer the original statement.
I thought he was up there. So I guess both of mine, both in the UP. Spend a lot of time fishing in the UP up there at our family cottage. On Big Beta Knock, like Kyle said, but mine's actually over on Ogance Bay. That's where Memorial Weekend, opening a bass season in the UP, we go out on Ogance. Like, that's where we go. That's our spot, right in front of the river. Please don't be there this Memorial Weekend when I get there, because that's our spot.
Are you not going to be fishing the UP tournament that weekend?
Well, we'll already be up there, but
Are you coming over to fish it, though?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, you better be.
So I'll be on Ogance Bay opening a bass season, and then our Topwater Trail Series tournament is on the Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully Muskegon Lake is one of my favorites after that weekend.
Manistee.
Manistee Lake, whatever.
Should we have a little
Town with an M.
little 2v2?
So
Pyatt and you two?
Second, the
Pyatt
what?
versus
Well, no,
Two
you and
versus
me
two.
and then
You're gonna face them too.
You two versus us two
I'm
on a
good with
UP on a UP body of water.
Yes, I'm great.
You're
with
on.
that.
Manistee.
You're on.
Yeah.
We will smoke you.
Big Beta Knock is not the same as that lake. Just
On
throw a worm
Manistee?
out there and go, oh, I caught the 10-pounder, 10-pounder, 10-pounder.
Big Beta
That's all
Knock
you
is
guys
attached
tell
to
me.
Lake Michigan. It's massive.
But all you guys tell me is that you throw anything out there, you catch 5, 6, 7-pounders every cast. Well, that's
Where
not
we go,
Manistee.
where we go.
It's like every other cast. It's not every cast.
Yeah, it's every
You
other
got to
cast,
put in
right?
a little bit of work.
No,
Very little.
second lake is also in the UP, and that's also an Indian lake. Everybody, the tourist, if you ever go up to Kitchitikipi up in the UP, Indian Lake is right next door to Kitchitikipi. We go out in Dad's boat, go out there all the time.
Is that the one with the trout?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
huge
that's
tr-
my
that's in
favorite
Kitchen
spot
to
to
Kippy. We like going out there.
Just jigging right
Yeah,
from the dock.
yeah, snagging hook.
It's a great
Mike Long hook.
Treble hooks.
great lake to take the
Mike
kids
Long
out and do
drop
some
shot.
perch fishing, and you can also do some bass fishing. But on the back of that Indian Lake, it's called Smith's Creek, and it's like this winding river. It's more of a river than a creek because it's pretty wide, but you can just slow float this winding creek for a couple miles back there. You know, it's like an all-day float if you wanted to, and that's on the northeast end of Indian Lake there by Kitchitikipi. But that's a fun lake. We spent a lot of time up there when we were growing up. So
Another lake that I had a good time last year at, that you probably fished a lot growing up, was Long Lake in Belding.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I caught so many fish. Of
Yeah.
course, they were 14 inches.
Yeah.
it's a Topwater tournament, Long Lake.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a nice place.
I came and fished 2 days before that
Loaded with
and
fish.
found a school of fish out deep. Deep, when I say deep, 12 foot.
Right.
But they were in front of a dock, and Cody Hart was on that dock. I'm like, ha ha ha, I've already fished that 2 days ago, that crap there. I'm sitting there with a drop shot going, bloop, bloop, bloop. Cody comes over and goes, what are you throwing? I said, a drop shot. I said, but I found these fish like a week ago. You're good to go. Just keep going down that bank.
That's awesome. All right, so that was your question about favorite two lakes from Matt, and I hope we answered them for you, Matt.
Ooh, to follow up on that, have you guys ever fished Fletcher's?
Fletcher's.
Oh yeah, Stump City.
Stump Fest.
Yeah,
5
some
pounders.
massive bass
Oh,
up there, but
I've heard.
you're gonna wreck a prop.
Yeah, don't take your 250 up there and go anywhere fast.
Is that the new motor that's in the new Old Town? The
Yeah,
250?
that's the
Yeah.
350 mark.
350 Merc.
Yep.
But that gets up on the pad nice.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
so
the Sportsman, Sportsman 2550?
we've given you guys some time to think about your biggest fishing fails.
Ooh.
Who wants to start? You want to start, Don?
Sure.
Biggest fishing fail.
Ice fishing on White Lake.
That's a fail. The guy over there, it's cold.
No, no, no.
I agree.
That's a white people thing.
Yes, us damn white people. Well, my brother just bought New Chappelle shanty. It's kind of windy out there. We'd have no anchors in it. So we put some tip-ups up. It's too windy, so we get the tip-ups out. We put the shanty up. We're sitting down inside it. Got a pike on a tip-up. So my brother goes out there and pulls one up. He yells over at me. He didn't bring no pliers with him. Bring me some pliers. I jump out of the shanty, turn around, there it went. Right down the lake.
Oh.
Everything we owned ice fishing was in the shanty. I don't know if you know where Tannery Bay is on White Lake. That thing blew all the way over to the river where it was open.
Oh. Into the
Right
river.
in the river.
Oh man.
Well, when I got out, I turned around, I took off running after it. You wasn't catching me. It was windy. Yep, it went all the way to open water. We just stood there and watched that thing cruising like this. Went all the way to open water and went in.
That's the structure Tom Mullins was fishing last
Yes.
year.
Oh, that's horrible. That's an
That
impressive
was
fail.
quite a fail, but
Yeah, that's
we
it.
left there. The story ain't over yet.
Oh shit.
We drove, you could drive right by Steve's store there and you could look out and see it. So we go and get my brother's canoe. Big mistake. We canoe out there, grab a hold of it. How are you gonna pull that into a canoe with two of us? So he ties it to the canoe. Well, it starts to move and we're going. He's trying to untie that son of a bitch, and the water, it throws the water, and we're going over, and finally he gets knife and cuts that son of a bitch. And that's it, we're done, dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was quite a trip.
That's awesome. That's
It
a
was
good
one I will never forget.
That's probably the best fail story we've
He
heard
might
so
get the
far.
trophy unless Steve got something to go with it.
I don't have that. Not even close. No. No, I actually mentioned it on an earlier Topwater episode. We were salmon fishing last fall, and I was throwing a silver stick bait hook into a fish, and I'm like, oh, we need to land this. You can tell, just when you catch or hook into a big fish, you know what it is. And I hook into this thing, and I've got a 30 pounder on my wall. And I went, no, we got to land this. And we're above structure. This fish comes up and it's flopping, and I'm looking at it with eyes going, this is a taxidermy, Bill, and I am in trouble, but this thing is beautiful. And it does this, and it shoots right over to the bank, and we drive over there, we land it, 2 hands on its tail trying to get this thing in a boat. Took 2 guys. Estimate, probably 34, 35 pounds. Beautiful king. We get it in a boat, my buddy sticks it on his boga grip, puts it on the lip, and he grabs the rope, and he's getting ready to stick it in the water to keep it alive, and the rope breaks, and out of the boat goes the fish and the boga grip. It's a $250 grip into the river, and this fish just disappears.
Dang.
I say, well, it saved me a $800 taxidermy bill, but it cost him $250. So,
Dang, that's rough.
yeah, it was funny, but it was heartbreaking at the same time. So.
Sounds terrible, but he still got you beat.
I totally agree.
All right, now your turn.
Yeah.
Beat that one.
Well, let's see. I don't know, 3-4 years ago, I was doing my first KBF trail event on Lake St. Clair. And I didn't have a lot of time that week to do a whole lot of pre-fishing. I remember I got out one day, kind of figured out where I was going to be, but I didn't get out there until later than I wanted to. So when I'm going, it's the day of the tournament now, so I'm out on the water, and I'm thinking to myself, well, it's another 4 hours to match up with my day of pre-fishing, so I'm not going to go to my spot right away. So what do? I start looking around. I see some waterfowl on the water, so I'm like, I'll go where the life is. I see this giant rock protruding out of the water. So I'm like, great, perfect. I'm heading that way. I'm just beelining it. And I'm fishing along the way. And then at a certain point, all that waterfowl that I saw, I noticed it wasn't moving. And that big rock wasn't a rock. So it was some duck hunters.
You just read some duck hunters.
It was geese hunters. And so as soon as I figured out what was going on, I aborted. I stopped dead in my tracks. I go well around, and so I avoid them. But on my way back in, I'm pedaling along, and here they are coming to the boat launch at the same time. And I'm not quite on the boat launch yet, and I hear, through the wind, hey, there goes that a-hole. And I'm like, oh boy. And then I hear someone else, maybe we should run him over, and I'm like, oh, come on. So I kind of yelled out, I'm like, listen, you guys were camouflaged. It worked. What can I do?
You did a good job.
Yeah. So, I'm explaining all this to my wife at home later on. She's like, great. You're yelling at the top of your lungs at a bunch of guys with shotguns.
They got guns.
Yeah.
You got a fishing pole.
I'm like, well. So that's mine.
That's a good fail.
That's funny.
That's
So they had
fail.
layout blinds and.
Oh, yeah. I'm
so-
like, why aren't those geese moving?
Oh man.
Well, give me one of them.
I love listening to these fail stories every week. It makes me feel a lot better about myself.
I'm glad we're here to
I
amuse
tend to have
you.
a fail story at every event I go out to. So.
That's one thing you don't want to do on Gunnersville or Chickamauga is be there on the opening weekend of duck season or goose season, because
Right.
everywhere's shallow in your back of your cuts, and every place has tons of people.
Yep.
We've been on Chickamauga fishing, throwing frogs. Boom! They're a ways, but
Pellets.
Then you hear
Yeah.
on the boat. It's like, oh no! I know what that is. Let's get out of here.
Good stories. So, Bill, tell us a little bit about what Catch-22 is. You brought us in some awesome Catch-22 stickers a little bit ago that I hid. I didn't share them with anybody, but yeah, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a sticker hoarder.
Sounds like
It's
you've
my
been
thing.
doing that.
Got yelled at about my truck the other day.
So I have a YouTube channel, and it's called Bill's Catch-22. And that's also how you can find me across all social media, Bill's Catch-22. And, I got into, I don't know how long you guys have been kayak fishing, but I've only been kayak fishing. I think it's my 6th year now. So, and YouTube was one of the things that got me into it. So, I saw that. I actually just upgraded my fishing boat. You know, with the kids, I got one of those bigger fish and ski models. And the same, I want to say 2 months later, I got a kayak. And I've probably been out on my boat 5 times since I've gotten that boat.
Nice.
And it's because I'd rather be kayak fishing. That's all I've been doing. So
That's awesome.
at a certain point, I decided to share my experiences on YouTube, and that's what I've been doing.
I love it. Those are my favorite things. Sharing the stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seeing what everybody else is up to, and living their stories through their videos and their posts and stuff like that. I love that.
The big thing I get from people is, because we're bigger guys, is, oh, don't you tip over that? And it's a lot easier just to go out in a boat. And I'm like, yeah.
No, it's not.
You go out in a boat for a while, but I mean,
it just isn't.
You can go out in a boat for a while. It's fun and all, but if you hook a big one in a kayak, there's nothing like it.
That's so much fun.
There's nothing like it. It's just
totally different than going out in a boat.
I've caught 30, 40-pound
not near
stripers in
as easy.
Tennessee in a boat and not get as excited as a 3-pounder in a kayak. I mean, Kyle's witnessed this a few times. I've caught a lot of 10-pounders that were only 5s. And I'm like, oh, this is the biggest bass in Michigan history. It comes up, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's just a
normal.
I love it.
If I hold the hand out far enough, that's
you got short arms.
That's the issue. I have short arms, so I can't hold the fish out far enough to make a 2-pounder at 10.
That's why you got to get that
what I
selfie
do.
stick, and you got to
I
go
got that
and
too.
Get your selfie stick. That's right.
Yep.
I love it. So, I love hearing those stories. And something new that Topwater is going to be doing, the Topwater TV series, as we get into fishing season, and now that things like the KBF and other events have been postponed and pushed back a little bit, something that Kyle and I have been working on for a while now is called the Bass Box Challenge. And Bass Box Challenge, what this entails, is Kyle and I have 2 rigged kayaks that we will have available. And what we'll do is we'll randomly select 2 anglers to go out, and we'll meet at an undisclosed body of water. Each one of those anglers will use one of our rigged kayaks. So they're identical. There's no advantages. They're both identically the same. Same fish finder, same sonar, everything. You're going to get 1 rod and reel on that kayak. It'll already be on the kayak. You show up, sit on it. And then we're going to give you a box. And it's going to be through Mystery Tackle Box, or it's going to be through Lucky Tackle Box, or it's going to be through Monster Bass Box. Lucky Tackle Box, Mystery Tackle Box is lucky enough to hook us up with a ton of product. So on your kayak is going to be sitting one of these boxes. You're only allowed to use what is in that box, along with your 1 rod on your matching competitor's kayak. We're going to go out, we're going to film this, and winner take all. It's 1-on-1. You have the same product except for what's hidden inside your box, which you don't.
Winner taking.
We don't know yet.
Taking
The
something.
kayak and the mystery box.
Oh,
we
don't know
roll
yet.
on to the next event.
We don't know yet. We're going to come up with something cool for that winner, and it could be, more of a bracket style, setup where if you beat your competitor, you move on, and you maybe face another winner, and so forth, and we set up a bracket style. We don't really know how we're going to, award winnings yet, but just something new that we're trying. That it puts everybody on a level playing field with the same setup, same equipment, with limited amount of product to use out there on a lake that you don't know where you're fishing until like the day before. So there won't be any time to pre-fish or research anything like that. Maybe quick glance at a map or something like that. But
Did Luis come up with this idea?
who?
Luis.
Who is
Luis.
Oh,
I call him Luis.
no.
This
Not
sounds
that
like
I-
something
not
he
that I
would
know
come
of.
up with. No motors, no.
We came up with this idea, like 2 years ago, something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
been-
We
great
created the
idea.
logo for this about 2 years ago, but then we got busy with Topwater. It kind of
I
just got put
cannot
on the
wait
back
for this. I got to
burner.
be involved somehow.
It's been quite some time that we've had this idea, and now I think with kind of everything going on, it'll give us a good excuse to get out there and film a couple of
Yeah,
these.
I think so. The next couple months with the season getting pushed back
I
a
can
little
give
bit.
you a heads up. If you give me a bait caster, I'll come back without that. It won't be in the lake. I'm telling you right now. I'll just take some line.
I don't think it'll be a bait
throw
caster. I
and
think
pull it in.
it'll be something that everybody could use, like a spinning reel type setup or something
Barbie
like that.
fishing pole.
Barbie pole.
Yeah,
I
Barbie
got
pole.
one
Good
at
with
home.
that. You're good with it. I'll see you catch a big fish on one.
Catch bass on Barbie poles.
We've got some other announcements that we'll release here later on moving forward, especially now that we have that extra springtime that we can go out and do some more film work and stuff like that and provide new content and stuff like that. We've wanted to do this for like 2 years now. We designed the logo, came up with a concept, contacted Mystery Tackle Box and Lucky Tackle Box. They sent us a ton of product like 2 years ago. We just haven't had the chance to set it up yet and do it the way we wanted to do it. We've just been
all
pulled
sitting in
too
a
many
box,
directions.
ready to go. So
So
I've
I'm
got you
excited
guys a
to
lake,
get this started.
But I can't fish it.
you what?
I've got you guys a lake, but I can't fish it. I take myself out of fishing this one lake, but I'll take 2 people to this lake and your cameras, but you can't tell them where it's at.
You can only use a whopper plopper too.
I don't use that.
So you're saying the
Unless
season's
it's in the
pushing
box.
back?
It might
Our
be in the
season?
box.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't made any definite decisions or anything like that. We just want to play it by ear. Kyle and I were talking about this earlier this week, and we want to get with Tom and obviously gather everyone's input. We haven't made any decisions on pushing our season back at this time. We want to play it safe. So we're going to follow what the experts advise us to do. So, what they're saying as of the announcement earlier today at the White House briefing, this could go on for till June, July. We have no idea.
Yeah, we're talking all the way into August.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
stuff.
we have no idea. And unfortunately, states like Illinois, let's use them for an example, they shut down all of their DNR managed parks, ramps, you name it. Like you can't use a DNR public access launch in the state of Illinois right now. If that happens in the state of Michigan, then obviously
We're done.
We're done.
Yeah.
But
Until
if
that
if
ban
that
is.
doesn't happen, can we go 100% virtual like we were going to do for the national championship?
That was something we talked about earlier today, where we could do virtual check-ins, obviously, where we can just announce the winners.
That would be awesome.
Virtually, we can do live captain meetings virtually. We can do as much. We can take away as much person-to-person contact as possible, which is great. But one thing that makes Topwater special is that shotgun start, where we're all at the launch
the
together
problem.
and talking to each other. And
Yeah, but that's outside, so it doesn't
it's
matter.
still outside, but still we're going to take the advice from the experts. We're not
Golf course is
doctors. We
open
don't work for
today.
the CDC. We're going to.
It's easy enough to keep a 6-foot rule. So, I mean, at this point, we're a month away from, more than a month away from our first tournament, and obviously we have several months of the season. So, kind of as we go along, we will just review everything, and I think we kind of got to let things settle at this point and just see where things have gone, what the regulations are or not put in place, how things are going. Obviously, we all love to fish, but there's more important things out there. But, well, at the end of the day, we want to make this happen. So I think we will do whatever we can. Obviously, any type of ban on using launches, but I don't think that'll happen here.
See, what you just said though is things are changing, because yesterday, 24 hours ago, they canceled all golf courses and everything. Today, all golf courses open back up to playing outside. You can't come in the clubhouse. You have to do an honor box outside. That's
why we haven't made any decisions yet, because it changes every 24 hours. There's a new update. So
by the time our first event's what?
April 19th, I think, something like that.
Yeah. April 19th.
Coldwater.
Yep. Yeah. So we'll just let it all play out. We'll see where things are. We have the full ability to go virtual. We can announce via our Facebook Lives. Obviously, we have the platform to be able to do that really easily. That's even something we talked about doing with our weeknight events in the first place, because they get over late and we're getting attacked by mosquitoes and all that stuff. So we even at one point talked about potentially going to just check in and get out of there, and then we announce everything, on the live. So
we definitely don't want any Corona with lime.
No.
So we'll just kind of play that as we go along, and once we're able to make a decision, we'll make a decision. But I know that, like I say, unless we have some type of shutdown of the ramps, which I don't think we're going to have, we'll definitely have some type of series this year. We have the full ability to pretty much do anything we want, and that's one nice thing about having control of everything like we do as far as the software. So we've talked about doing, bracket of 64 type, online type tournaments. Obviously, we can do any type of online tournament that we want across the state or across regions of the state. So once we kind of, everything settles and we figure it out, then we'll just figure out the best way to go and start making it happen. So.
Yeah, we've got a lot of time left, and safety is the main goal here.
Don't worry about it, too.
For not only the anglers that are showing up, but for everybody at home as well that they're going home to. So we'll just play it by ear. Kyle, myself, and Tom Mullins, on behalf of MKT and the Topwater Series, we will do what's best for our anglers, and that's just the bottom line. Safety is the name of the game. So, but we've got a lot of time to get that figured out, and like we just said, new details and changes happen every single day, so we're not going to rush to any quick decisions or judgments. Trust us, we want this to happen just as much as everybody else, and to go off with what's previously on schedule at the same starting date. So we'll do what we can to make that happen, but we're going to play it safe in the meantime. So we will make updates leading up to the event, start date. So don't rush to any judgments or concerns
Are you going
yet.
to open
We're just going to play it by ear.
registration the week before each event? Or a month before? Last year we did a month before. Are you going to open it a week before since all this?
So MKT at this point is still set to be a month before. That was our plan with the Topwater Trail Series as well. But with everything going on, and since we don't really know what's going on now, we've basically postponed opening sign-up. At this point, we plan to open all 3 of those events, the first 2 Topwater Trails and the MKT, a month before. Basically, the same original date that we would have broadcast and opened.
March 31st was going to be our.
Yeah. So
open
at this point,
date.
we're planning on opening all 3 of those on that date. But obviously, we'll just have to see what happens between now and then. As far as the weeknight series, the league series, those will be a week before. Basically, when one opens, the next one will open back up. So.
Yep. If viewers watching at home, if you have any questions about the trails or start dates or questions like that, when's registrations open, stuff like that, please shoot us a message. We'll have all that information available on our website and stuff like that, and through our social media outlets. So we'll keep everybody up to date as we keep moving forward here. So.
Ready to do some giveaways?
Yeah, let's do a couple giveaways.
All right, so what do we got for giveaways tonight?
Give all of
We are in honor of the Bass Box Challenge that we just talked about. We're going to give away this awesome Monster Bass box of merchandise.
Cool.
So, how do we want to give this away?
Best fail.
It's a good one.
I like that one. Why don't we?
Tell us your best fishing fail.
Why don't we start a thread like we did last time? I kind of like that.
Yep.
So, and why we got that up there, just to do kind of a quick little, I guess, testimonial or something like that. I have tried all 3 of these boxes. The guys that used to run Lucky Bass, Rick, one of the main guys, now works for Monster Bass, and FedEx. I'm a subscriber, so that's how we got that box. And they actually, I've worked with Rick before in the past, but when it comes to this specific box, FedEx screwed up, dropped off my package somewhere else. So I'm like, hey, I didn't get it. They're like, oh, no problem. We'll send you another one. And then like 3 days later, they both showed up on the same day. So I had an extra one. I'm like, what do you guys want me to do? And I'm like, hey, we do this show. We can give it away. And they're like, yeah, do that. So they didn't want us to send it back or anything like that. They took care of me, sent another one. But I've been really happy with all of the stuff that they throw in their boxes. So if you're looking to try one out, I'll actually post up a link when we do that. But I think we have a little discount code that we get from them. But yeah, I've been really happy with that. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, definitely worth doing. And yeah, I'll go ahead, and as soon as the show's over, I will post up a thing, share your best fish and fail, and then we'll select them. I guess we can announce it next week, just like we did this week.
Yeah, so we'll do that next week for the Monster Bass Box winner.
Yep, so I'll jump on the page and make that post now so that people can comment. It'll be on the Topwater Series group page. So.
And we wanted to do one other giveaway tonight. St. Patrick's Day, we went with the Kelly Green 2020 on the sleeve, Waterdog Outfitters on the sleeve, Topwater Old Town as our new partnership with Waterdog and Old Town kind of all culminated together tonight. So we went with these limited edition shirts. We do have some extra shirts that we wanted to give away. So to start with, I think it's only proper, since it's an Old Town shirt, that post a picture of you with your Old Town kayak on our Topwater Series page, and we will randomly select a winner or winners of you in your Topwater or your Old Town kayak photograph. We'll just randomly select some winners based off of you and your Old Town gear. And maybe you don't have a picture, a nice one of you in your kayak. If you've got the hat or you've got the Old Town, performance shirt, something like that. We just want to show Old Town some love, and with our community of anglers, representing them and their products. So share it on our Topwater series page, and we'll randomly select some winners for these limited edition shirts, and we'll get that mailed off to you as well. So
Cool. So I need to create a thread for that one too, or?
yeah,
All right.
I think it's best.
I'm going to do that
It
right
helps
now
me see
on
who
the Topwater series
to mail
page.
this stuff off to. So
All right, so I just posted up the first one. Says comment your best fishing fail. Best answer wins Monster Bass Box. And I also threw the link in there if anybody wants to check it out. And then I will create the other one now.
yep, and I will get Mr. Woodland's Berkeley prize packs with his fire line and his Skeet Reese cash out baits here. I'll get those in the mail to you this week.
We're
So
glad you're doing it.
what's that?
We're glad you're doing it. Putting that in the mail.
Oh, I'll walk it out to the end of my driveway.
Well, I mean, if Kyle was doing it, it'd still be sitting
yeah.
here.
He'd probably get it about the start of our season.
That's probably correct.
So one more, we're past 9 now, so one more acknowledgement that I wanted to make tonight, as I can smell it now, in honor of St. Patty's Day. We eat some corned beef and cabbage every year at my house, and with the show being tonight, my wife and awesome mother-in-law sent us a big crock pot full of corned beef and cabbage and potatoes and carrots. It's been cooking all night, so I just want to say thank you to them for feeding us tonight. It smells delicious, and one of my favorite meals, and I can't wait to go dig in. And I hear the music has been cued, so that means our time is up for tonight. So
Shut it down.
again, thank you everybody for
Let's keep this going.
thank you everybody for joining us again tonight. And we had to make some last minute changes to the schedule, as a couple of our guests that we had planned on for the last couple months had some emergency changes that they needed to make. So we wanted to respect that and let them do what they needed to do. So the show must go on, and I thank all of our guests coming out tonight. And Bill, we'll start with you. Thank you for making that drive over. Much appreciated getting to chat with you, getting to hear about your experiences with Old Town and Catch 22. And everybody go check out Catch 22 and see what Bill's been up to, and say hi to him. Matt, thanks for coming out again tonight. Really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you out on the water soon, man.
Yep, tight lines and wash your damn hands.
Absolutely. Mr. Diesel, fishing personality, Fishing with Diesel, thank you so much.
This is what I do every Tuesday.
What you do.
I'm here.
We appreciate it, man. Having your presence at the table means a lot every week. So thank you very much for coming out. Mr. Don Roth, thank you for coming out. First time in the
First
studio.
time, it was good.
Thank you for coming out and representing Team Waterdog and Old Town, and thank you so much for getting us in this week.
We'll have to try to come back again.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I'm ready to go do some fishing.
Oh, here you go.
And Mr. Steve Crooks, thank you so much for coming out. Appreciate everything. Picking up for the shirts for us and bringing
Absolutely.
those to the show tonight. And appreciate it, man.
It's
And,
like Santa Claus.
Oh
coming
yeah,
in.
you look like Santa Claus. coming in
Santa's
tonight.
sleigh was full.
Took three people carrying in all that gear tonight. So
It was good. Always a pleasure.
much appreciated. And we'll keep everybody posted on opening a Waterdog, hopefully coming up soon.
April
And
4th.
April 4th.
Tentatively April 4th.
So the
But
shop
we
looks
are-
great. And
We are setting up appointments, so if you want to go before that and
Yeah.
get a kind of a sneak peek, or you have ideas what you need, send us a Facebook message.
yeah, reach out.
Yeah, definitely.
Search
I'll
for
meet you.
Waterdog Outfitters, or go through the Topwater series page, linked on there too. Just search for Steve or search for Waterdog Outfitters. It'll pop right up. And if you need to get in there before start of April 4th, send him a message. You can set up an appointment that you can get in there and get a sneak peek and get your gear before everybody else. So
Absolutely.
spring is quickly approaching. We're only a couple days out from spring, so
Yep.
I can't wait. I was able to get out on the water and do some fishing yesterday, and I didn't catch anything, but I was able to just mental healing.
I'm glad to see things haven't changed for you.
Yeah, nothing's changed. I look damn good out there, though. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Please stay safe. And the last thing I wanted to mention, I posted it on our Topwater series page as an announcement. as schools continue to be out. I know many people in this country and the state of Michigan, you rely on those school breakfasts and school lunches and things like that to keep kids fed. If you are in need of anything for your children in your absence of being quarantined at home and schools being closing, please shoot me a private message. This is a judgment-free zone and nobody needs to know, but if you need help with something, shoot me a message and we'll make sure your kids get the nutrients and the stuff they need to get through this. So stay healthy, everybody. Appreciate you tuning in tonight, and we will see you all next week.
All right, good night, everybody.
Thank you.